Hello, hello! Did it do it? It did! Hello, everybody! Exceed, hello! Hi, Senti, hi, Pawn! The reason why I asked if it did it is because I finally got my stream deck kind of set up, and I set it so that when Oh, thank you for the host, Senti! I set it up so that it would turn my mic off and on for certain scenes, and I didn't know if it would actually work, and it did. The one thing I don't know today is why my mouth is not moving a whole ton. I tried to actually 1 second. Let me restart VC Face real quick, and I'm gonna do one different thing here. I'm gonna disappear for a second. Boop. I'm still here, but only ethereally. Okay. Magic, yes. Oh, 1 second. I have a little source button here that I can press, right? Yeah, okay. Just so you guys don't see this bit. I'm just going to take off Wink support. I think that tracking messes with some stuff. Oh, and I should also probably maybe turn on my overhead light. That might help. Ugh. Okay, hello. Hello. Are you using VC Face? I believe it's sometimes bugged when tracking the mouth. Yes, I do use VC Face. Ta-da! But usually it works fine. I do think that it getting kind of dark right now is also a factor, but we will just live with it. It's all good. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to do as far as announcements at the top, really. Not much. I've had an interesting day trying to get this dumb stream deck set up, and I was trying to do another thing in After Effects that didn't work out. So I was in a bit of a grumpy mood, but I'm very excited for birds. Yes, today we are going to wrap up the last 3 ones that we haven't done, which is, and we're going to do them in this order. We're going to do Kazuaki, the teacher, we're going to do Yuya, and then at the very, very end, we shall do Nageki. And that will be the time that I cry on stream. If I get all the way through Nageki without crying, I will be amazed. But yeah, just like last time, I'll do the introduction bit as kind of a reminder of what's going on. Wow, VC Face, why? Ah! 1 second, I'm gonna turn myself off one more time. Take a look at something. Boop. Man, I did so many tests before stream and everything for technical difficulties. Let me... Oh. That's not what I wanted. Oopsie. What if I distract you at random points about Hunter's Moon so you don't cry? I'm still gonna cry. I am always a baby. But like, especially right now, I am baby. I actually had to cancel stream on Monday because some stuff with medications was making my hormones go crazy, and I was crying at the drop of a hat. And so I was like, this is not what we are doing today. Let me see. Is that anything? Not really. Hello? What? Ah? Hello? I don't know. It's not reacting to sound waves like I think that it should. I am better now. Yes. Things are evening out. 1 second. Let me just see if there's anything else I can do. I do have another tracking software. I don't think I want to try and break that out today, though. Let's see. No. Sorry, just reading through settings here really quickly, just to make sure there's nothing that Yeah, I think that's as good as we're getting today, which isn't very good, but I will fix it over the weekend. He's fine. Hello. I return. Okay, now with all of that figured out, let's get back into birds. All right. Okay. Oh, where did I put it on my stream deck? It's gonna take me a second to get used to this. Okay. All right. Okay. Here. Ah. There we go. Honestly, the biggest problem that I had was trying to set up my little timers that I do for before the stream and then for like the little redeems. Tates, hello! Good to see you. Welcome back to Birds. Speaking of which, where are they? Okay, let me stop Spotify. I said stop. Thank you. And then boop. Do I have the source on? No, I don't. Oopsie. Birds. There we go. Oh man, you guys. Oh, you did a stream this morning, Tates? Can turn this down a little bit. Oh, it's so loud for me. Why is it so loud for me? Turn myself down. Okay. Not very active. Decided to torture myself with Dark Souls 2. I wish you luck, Senti, because, like, oof. Big oof. Okay. Alright, let's get back into it. Go to sleep to bird stream. We'll just go to sleep with me trying very hard not to cry at the end of this here. That's good. That's good that you have some mods. I've heard the Dark Souls mods can help out a whole ton. I do not play Dark Souls because I get so easily frustrated. I was gonna put my name as in as Sumire. Hanako, no. There we go. Ki. Yup, that's my name. Got you banned? Oh no! Oh yeah, I forgot that part of Dark Souls is online, so that is a thing that can happen. Alter ego Sumire Hanako. It's a horror movie version of me. Do you guys know the Hanako-san myth? That's the like Japanese school myth of like the girl that lives in the bathrooms. That's Hanako-san. Yeah, so my alter ego is just Hanako-san. By the way, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is a wonderful anime and manga, and I wish more people watched and or read it. Can't play Dark Souls 2 with anyone anyway because of a dumb mechanic. Oh shoot, no, I wanted the human portraits! I lied! I lied! No, I want to see them! Give me the boys! I want to see them. My hand tremor has been very interesting today. So there might be some errant clicking and I'm sorry. Alright, yes, that's me. Yes, give me the portraits. Oh, and then let me actually get my guide up. Oopsie. Boyfriend guide. Just so we can 100% this boy. So that next time we play, we will get the true ending. Oh, I forgot we have the Azami stuff to do as well. Let me see what is all with there. Let's see. So we have to attend gym quite a bit for Azami. Okay, so actually we might as well start with Azami, get her knocked out of the way. Or actually, no, let's do... I want to get Kazuaki over with. Just because I'm just wanting to limit how much I'm doing the Kazuaki voice. Okay, we shall start with the teacher today. Okay. Oh, and we can study whatever we want. Wonderful. All right. And he only has one ending. Okay. St. Pigeonations, a school blessed with extensive curricula and facilities. It's already been a year since I ended my ordinary life and walked through these gates. I should probably say, this school is known for one thing in particular. This school is Japan's, no, the world's greatest gathering place for gifted birds. Birds who want to study the arts, the sciences, even sports all come to St. Pigeonations. Blensed. Hashtag blensed. Here we go again. Yeah, man. The teaching staff and student body are both made up of a diverse blend of birds of different backgrounds and species. I'm often asked why I chose to come here despite not being a bird. It's a long story. Not every day I see you rushing around along like this. Ryota! Usually you'd have been ready for an hour by now, Sumire. Overslept? Sweet, gentle boy. He's vanilla as hell, but he's a sweet boy. This rock dove is named Kawada Ryota. We've been friends since he was barely hatched. He can be a little mischievous, but he's responsible and kind. He's literally not done a single mischievous thing this whole game. Every time I forget I have to say this line. Okay. Breakfast was a little hard to catch today. I can't relax without red meat inside. Living as a hunter-gatherer sounds tough. I'd be happy to make you breakfast, you know. I might take you up on that offer when starvation looms. Thanks, Ryota. Bing bong, bing bong. Oh, the bell already? Come on, we need to hurry to class. Jeepers, no good being late on the first day. And so Ryota pulled me along into the school. Today is the start of a new semester. I wonder what lies in store. It was all I could do to adjust to the atmosphere last year. Better make up for all that lost fun. Da 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 da. I don't know if the true ending does these transitions. I don't think that it does, so this will be the last stream where we get to see that. I think we're in 2-3. Ryota and I are in the same class again. Old faces, new faces. A strange thrill fills my heart as I look around the assembled birds. I hope we all get along. Here's to the formation of many happy memories. Oh, the teacher's here. Okay, alright, okay. I have to remember what voice I did for, like, Birdly, but make it a little bit less asshole-ish. Good morning, everybody. I'm Nanaki Kazuaki. I seem to be your teacher this year. I specialize in math and physics, and also some other things. Sir, wake up! It's homeroom! He sleeps with his eyes open? I'll also be totally transparent. I do not remember a single thing that happens on the Kazuaki or Yuya route, so I will probably be as surprised as everybody else, unless, like, memories come flooding back to me. This quail is Nanaki Kazuaki. He's a famously sephoric math teacher. I heard the rumors, but I hadn't expected him to fall asleep just like that. Apparently, he's well known as a mathematician. Just goes to show, great minds come in all forms. I'm sorry, isn't it a little warm in here? Exceed, I like that face. Which reminds me, we have a transfer student. I don't know why it being warm in here reminded you of that, but that's okay. Please introduce yourself, Shirogane. What is the point? I have no wish to speak with commoners. Do not think I'm here because I wish to be. Oh, well, I guess that's that. Hey, that's no good. But he doesn't want to introduce himself. We can't just let him break the rules like that, sir. The system will collapse and we'll all turn into kulaks and dissenters. Well, when you put it like that, could you at least say your name, Shirogane? Shirogane Labelle Sakuya. Asshole supreme. It seems this fantail is Shirogane Sakuya. His feathers would make any birdie proud. He's pretty stuck up, but then transferring is never easy. I hope we can be friends. Sakuya sits down, glaring daggers at Ryota and me. I think this little bird is telling me there's gonna be trouble down the line. Lunch already! Today is slipping by so quickly. That reminds me, I've had these books out from the library all summer. I'll return them now. Where is everyone? Aside from the receptionist, there's hardly anybody here. Huh? Is someone looking at me? Probably just my imagination. Or not. A mourning dove stands in the dark corner staring in my direction. Mourning doves aren't very common in Japan, but apparently they're everywhere in America. Did you want something from me? You looked away. Not really. I'm pretty sure it was him who I felt looking at me. There's no one else here. Are you sure? Yes, I don't want anything to do with you. It's the things you're carrying that I'm interested in. He glances at the desk as if to say, hurry up and return them already. Oh, sorry. They were a little too dense and I never finished them. Were you waiting for them all summer? He silently returns his gaze to his book. Maybe he's in a bad mood? I'm Hanaki Sumire, a sophomore. What about you? You are... Nageki. Fujishiro Nageki. Freshman. I'll come back for you soon, sweetie. We're ending with Nageki's because his story is the most relevant to the true ending. So I want it to be the most recent thing that I've played. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Mourning doves are pretty rare in Japan. Maybe it's just his voice, but he seems kind of sad. Literally everything about that boy screams sad. Leave me alone. So green, he is a very green boy. He's reading his book again. Okay, sorry to bother you. I keep meeting depressing people today. Now that I have that out of the way, I think I'll head back to class. Oh, wait, isn't that... You should have been instructed not to approach me in school. Come on, Sakuya, what kind of thing is that to say to your own brother after all these years? My brother? You must be joking. You've never once been a brother to me. So I know a little bit about Yuya's backstory, and I don't know if it's in the true ending or if it's in Yuya's ending. So, we could be getting actually double sad today. Oopsie. Please, don't try and talk to me again. I've no time for half-breeds. I'll be going now. Hey, wait just a... I guess even if we're in the same school now, what's done is done. I hadn't meant to eavesdrop, but I think I just overheard something juicy. The ever-popular trendsetter and ladies' man Sakazaki Yuya is Sakuya's brother? I wonder what the story behind that is. Hey. You heard that whole thing, right? Are you a friend of Sakuya's? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to listen in on you. Oh. No sweat. I try to stay sexy and suave in front of all you little ladies, but that there wasn't too cool. I actually really do like Yuya's design. This fantail pigeon is Sakazaki Yuya, an upperclassman. I've never talked to him before, but he's famous or infamous throughout the school. Everybody knows of him. You're Sumire, right? How did you... I know everybody here. Besides, you're the only human. A single poppy in a field of rye. And did you say you were a friend of Sakuya's? Not exactly. We had a rather ballistic introduction this morning. We're in the same class, that's all. I'd never had thought that stuck-up aristocrat wannabe was your brother. Aristocrat wannabe. He is an aristocrat, actually. The genuine article in the flesh. He is? He's a bit of a pain, so good luck, mon ami. Adieu. He really is a noble bird. I've never heard anything like that about Yuya, though. Probably a twisty business. I think it's very, very funny, actually, I'm just realizing this, that Sakuya never speaks French, even though he's, like, the one, like, oh, I'm the one that lived in France and everything, but Yuya speaks French all the time. Literally just saying mon ami and adieu, but he still does it, and Sakuya doesn't, which is interesting. That's all for today. Stay safe, everyone. Yay! Huh? Sir, where's Ryota? He said he was going to the infirmary. Maybe you should go and see if he's still there? Now that I think about it, Ryota always did have a weak stomach. I should go to the infirmary just to make sure he's okay. He is not. Oh, so now that we've done the shoe route, I can now point this out. Let me see if this actually shows up on OBS if I hover my mouse over it. No, I don't. It does not. But if you look in the cabinet here, second shelf, second thing from the right, there's a pill bottle that has a skull on it. They're just like, oh yeah, by the way, he has murder pills just openly on display in here. Excuse me. Nobody's here? There's no one sleeping behind the curtains, and the doctor isn't here either. My hunter-gatherer instincts feel no presence. There's nobody here. Ryota! No reply. The infirmary is empty. Weird, did he go home already? I feel a little nervous poking around the empty room. Oh, now that I think of it, I haven't been in here much before. Unlike Ryota, I'm perfectly healthy. Whoa, they've got all kinds of drugs in here! Ethylplar, Trife, Luciobenzene. Oh, what do these even do? Care to find out? Oh wow, can I do shoe today? We'll see. Doctor? I'll feed you all sorts of things if you want. No, thank you. We know what happens. And it ends with our head in a jar. This partridge is Iwamine Shu, the school doctor. He's rather creepy in person and has a bad reputation among the student body. Everybody knows that even just talking to him can bring you down with aspergillus, acidocosis, or even worse things. And I never even heard him come in the door. Ninja doctor? You don't look like you have a good reason to be in here. Did you need something? I heard that Ryota Kawara from Class 2-3 was supposed to be in here? Him? He's already gone. Oh. Why didn't he come find me before going home? Sorry to bother you, I'll be going now. Just sprint. Ah, finally out of that den of evil. There isn't a tree in there this time, but... Ryota's already gone home. What do I do now? Oh, I never got around to joining a club last year. Maybe I'll go take a look at some of my options. I think there are clubs for baseball, soccer, track, kendo, migration, birdwatching. Wasn't there another one? Anyway, I'll start with the track team. I ran in middle school, and it's always fun watching the birds hop around. Us saying, wasn't there another club? I know that we're talking about something, but I cannot remember what it is. It's fine, it's fine. I think their club room is on the ground floor off to the side. Oop. 1 second, sorry. I'm fixing up my guide here because I'm gonna have to make a choice in a moment. There we go. Alright, now I can see it better. A white dove is having a tantrum outside. Here he is. Coo-coo! This is no pudding for a man. Coo! Oko-san rejects it. It is a lie. A vicious falsification. He's dancing around on a squished pudding. Hey, that's not very nice to the pudding. It's never not funny. This is Oko-san. He doesn't really look it, but supposedly he's a fantail pigeon, I think. Either way, he's hyper. Coo! Oko-san has suffered a deception most vile, a wretched betrayal. Betrayal? Coo! Oko-san instructed that pudding be provided for new members. Coo! But this is no pudding. Ousted, scorned, betrayed, dragged into the street and shot by those he trusted most. It's squished and filthy, but the thing under his feet looks like a normal store-bought pudding. What's wrong with it? Coo-coo! Spare the jests, young lady! Oko-san used wing attack, it's super effective. Coo-coo! They'll rue the day they crossed Oko-san. He'll have them flayed, hanged, shot at dawn, he will. Coo! Oko-san must now train to achieve true pudding. Farewell. And he's gone. He's a good runner, but what does pudding have to do with the track team? Since Oko-san is the entirety of the track team, it has everything to do with it. And so ended the first day of my second semester at St. Pigianations. Okay, I'm gonna make a save right here, so that I don't have to go back through that again. I do remember last time it did glitch out, so that's fun. Okay, to the very, very first one. I think we want to choose the class council today. As you all know, this school doesn't require you to join any club. If you want to, you can, but if you don't, then you're free to go home after school. Ooh, Ogo-san has time only for the track team. That's good. What about you, Shirogane? A foolish question. I already hold a position here. Oh, that's right. You became student president when you were admitted. Nepotism, ho! Don't we get to vote? Just coming to school is enough for me. You have to take care of your mother on your own and all. I wonder what I should do. Join the... Okay, what are we doing? Student council. That's everyone, isn't it? Have fun! Also, I changed up my filters on my mic, so if I'm too loud or if I'm peaking too much, please let me know. Oh, shoot, I've now clicked things and messed things up. Oh, no. I touched one thing. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. There it is. Okay. The game disappeared for a second. Today's an elective day. What should I do? Looks like we can attend whatever we want, but I'll stick with math, because he teaches that. Mr. Nanaki dozed off as usual, but class was somehow good anyway. I feel smarter already. Yay, wisdom increased by 5. Whoop. I was pretty sure I wanted to join it, but what does the council do again? We'll let you know. Thank you, Senti. Looks like there is a little bit of a delay. Sorry. There's not a lot I can do. We skipped the vote, and I think it's only Sakuya and me. Anyway, he called a meeting, so to the council room I go. This looks like a CEO's office. Naturally. Do you think I would stand for anything less? Hi, Sakuya. So, you had this done? This room used to be filthy, better suited to rabbits than to us. What a prig. Have you decided which position you will take? I get to choose? Who is there to choose for you? Dumb Japanese. That's racist, Sakuya. Aren't you Japanese too, Sakuya? Do not mock me. I am French. A French noble bird? That sounds delicious. I guess I'll have to pick a post now. Think I'll be the... Let's see, it looks like we're gonna be the clerk. The most... Well, I don't know. What would a clerk in a 2-person student body even do? I don't know. You came here to take a job like that? Unacceptable. Where's your ambition? Are you testing yourself? You've got more backbone than that. Then... Vice President? Very well. And so I was inflicted with vice presidency. There isn't anybody else on the council, is there? Sitting at home is so relaxing. Oh, tomorrow is the class hike. Should I prepare anything? We won't be going far, so I don't have to. Well, health first. I think we'll have some udon and go to sleep. Today's the hike. We stopped for a break on a hillside. We're going to talk to... Kazuaki. What is it, Hanaki? Break isn't over yet. I wanted to talk to you, sir. Your friends are all here. Why not talk with them? Do you not want to talk to me? No, that's not what I meant. You're a funny girl, Hanaki. Oh, wait, no, I haven't said anything yet. And so, I took a nap with Mr. Nanaki. This field actually looks wonderful to take a nap in, now that I'm looking at it. I do really like the painterly backgrounds. I wonder if he has some sort of illness. I hope he's okay. Narcolepsy ain't no joke, man. Today's an elective day. What should I do? More math. More math. We're gonna be a fucking nerd this time around. I'm not getting this at all. Maybe you should review the basics a little more, Hanaki. Yes, sir. Ta-da! I have received 5 wisdom. I imagine you're all aware, but the sports festival is right around the corner. Please think about what you'll do. Sports festival season already? If it were in the fall, it would conflict with the cultural festival, so it's always been in May. What are you gonna do, Ryota? I haven't decided, but probably the 3-legged race. Somebody has to. Cool! Oko-san will handle the marathon. Indeed he will. You do have a lot of stamina, Oko-san. What about you, Sakuya? You can't possibly be expecting me to run in some race, can you? It's a sports festival. Is there an event that doesn't involve running? How about being a cheerleader? The general, in other words. Very well, leave it to me. I do not think that is... Also, the first aid team is always short-handed, so I'm sure they could use help if any birdie still can't decide. That's all for today. Ryota's doing the 3-legged race, Oko-san's running the marathon, and Sakuya's a cheerleader. Yuya might be running the first aid tent. What should I do? I'll have to think about it. Beep. Okay. Today's the sports festival. I never did make up my mind. What should I do? Go to the... Let's see. We're gonna do the 3-legged race with Ryota, it looks like. Where he pulls our weight, if I remember correctly. Oh, are you joining us? Want to run together? I haven't found a partner yet. Okay. Get set, go! Ryota's running for both of us. Pairing up a bird and a primate might have been a bad idea. We somehow came in second anyway, though. We have brought honor to our class. Oof, am I getting the hiccups? I hope not. The first barrier for all students who make it this far, the midterm exam. We're getting them back today. I don't think I did too well. Hanaki. Yes? You worked hard. Keep going like that and you'll do just fine. One day you could surpass me. I'd love to see that. I guess I did pretty well after all. And Mr. Nanaki seems happy with me too. Yay! I don't know why education isn't apparently a big thing. Oh wait, no, I do know why. I know why you don't have to be super smart for Kazuaki. It's a true ending thing, but we'll reflect on all that later. One second, my mic arm is falling down. That's like the exact opposite of what this is meant to do. Okay. Today is a good day. I feel like I'm shining. I wonder what I should do during break. Go to the... We're going to the infirmary. Oh yeah, because Kazuaki and Shu have a whole thing. You again. Are you ill? Not exactly. Then why are you here? I came to... skip class! I wanted to skip class. Get out. Kicked out at the speed of light. I should probably take my school life more seriously. It seems like we're just kind of spreading ourselves out amongst everybody and negating some stuff. Alright, more math, let's go. I always find myself wondering what the math we learn is good for. Cool. And now we can draw a line perpendicular to the... I can't do a snore noise. Is this math class or nap time? It could be both. Por qué no las dos? Today is Tatabana! Tanabata! Excuse me. There's probably a bamboo tree in the plaza this year too. I think I'll go make a wish. Oh hey, we actually get to go home with Kazuaki this time. Wow, there's lots here already. Anybody I know? May mother stay healthy this year, and may my stomach get better. Ryota. Morning conference on 10th. Leave 30 minutes early. Buy another alarm clock. May I wake up on time. Nanaki. Wednesday is garbage day. Remember. What should I wish for? Interesting. For this one, it is rule the world from the shadows. I wish to take the reins of power through clever schemes and rule the world from the shadows. Oh, hello, is that you, Hanaki? Mr. Nanaki. You should be careful out this late. It can be dangerous for a girl, you know. I was about to head home. Would you like me to walk you to your place? Yes, please. For once. Yes, please. All right. Mr. Nanaki demonstrated some extreme sleeping on the way home, but we arrived eventually. Some escort he was. Your house is very rustic, Hanaki. I like it this way. It's wonderful to have a place to come back to, isn't it? Wonderful indeed. He looks a little sad. Sir? See you tomorrow. Don't forget your homework. And so he left, a somewhat hollow-sounding farewell echoing behind him. Or was it just my imagination? Oh man, are we gonna do just all sad today? Oh no! More math. This is probably more math than I actually took. Oh, is it the brain candy thing? Think of calculus as educational candy. No. Math was always one of the subjects I did very poorly in school. So yeah, my Hatoful Boyfriend character is about 10 times better at math than I was. Get our finals back today. Well done, you've gotten even better. Keep up the good work. Man, if I wasn't getting better, oh. This game isn't that mean though. There are some games that are super mean and you have to do like some really weird stuff to pass like minor checkpoints. Nameless does that a few times and it drives me insane. Today's last day. Can't believe it's been a semester already. Sometimes it seemed long and sometimes it seemed short, but either way, it's summer now. I think Saki said to help him clean out the student council room. He's always angry if I make him wait, so I should hurry. You're late. I came as fast as I could. Sorry, Sakuya, let's get cleaning. Very well. First, move the shelf and chairs. There's dust underneath. Okay. Next, inside the cupboard, arrange the files by date. Okay. And then the floor, polish it at least 3 times, and also the window... Oh, hold on, are you telling me to do this all by myself? Who else is there? You bonehead. Was that a growling noise? Maybe I should stand up to him. Let's see. Do we stand up to him? No, we do not. Never mind. Well, alright, you can sit there and tell me what to do. Excellent. And so the council room was polished until it shone with the light of 1,000 suns. Just as planned. Ugh, I went along with him. Don't be an enabler. It's easy to fall out of practice and get fat and lazy during summer vacation. A hunter-gatherer's body is her way of life, so maybe I'll go running today. Let me actually take a quick look at Azami and see if we can't hop on that now. No, we can not hop on Azami, on Azami's route. Currently. Ah, that was a good run. A true running girl's way to start vacation. I wonder how far I ran. I always lose track of where I'm going once the runner's high kicks in. Where am I? I must have wandered out of my usual stomping ground at some point. Which way did I come from? Don't fail me now, Paleolithic homing instinct. The sun's setting. I'd rather not sleep outside. Hey, you! I'm sorry, I love her so much. I don't know you. Where'd you come from? A sparrow stands next to me, squinting up at my face. Her wing is resting on a motor scooter. It looks a little bit vintage. How cute! I feel a strange pressure. I can tell right away that this sparrow isn't just any birdie. I'm from St. Pigianations, and I was out for a run and got lost. You ran all the way here? You must be good. It's about a 2-hour drive from here. What? I guess that's why my legs hurt. I wonder if I'll be able to run home again. I like the cut of your jib. Anyone that determined deserves a ride home. Come on. The intimidating sparrow gestures at her scooter. It's a little small, but we should both fit, I think. How does she reach both steering... How does she reach the brakes? Like, even if their handbrake's on the scooter, how does she reach both handles? Thank you. May I ask your name? Koshiba Azami. I sell takoyaki. Call me Azami. Then thank you, Azami. You're a very cautious driver. Carve it into your soul, kid. One accident is all it would take, and that would be the end of both our lives. How does she reach anything is my question. Really, though. I don't even know if they address it when we do, like, Azami's stuff. It may seem strange to a young girl like you, but once you've lost someone, you'll understand. There's a far-off look in her eyes. I'm sure you know what you're talking about, but at this rate I might get home faster by walking. Do you think we'll get there by dawn? Carve it into your soul. The speed limit for scooters is 30 kilometers per hour. We're not even going that fast. Following traffic laws is part of my credo. Isn't riding tandem against the law too? That rule is for humans. Birds are light, so 1 or 2 more doesn't stop the brakes from working. We're fine like this. But I'm not a bird. And so we putted along at Azami's hyper-cautious speed. By the time we got to my house, it was almost light out. Still a long time until the semester starts, and I still have a lot of homework. Maybe I should apply for a part-time job. No. No, we shall not. I think I'll wait until I'm in college. That way I can skip lectures and go to work. Slacking off and having fun is more the high schooler thing to do. Whee! Today's the local summer festival. I think I'll go with somebody. Invite. Da 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 da. Kazuaki. Oh, good evening, Hanaki. Such nice weather. Anyway, you needed something? Sir, today's the summer festival. Do you want to go together? The 2 of us? I wouldn't mind, but wouldn't it be more fun with someone your own age? I think it would be plenty of fun with you, sir. Let's go. You're not even that old. This is the first time I've been to the festival here. A festival here. It's very lively. I feel a little dizzy. Are you okay, sir? I'm fine, don't worry. I'm just not very used to crowds. Ah, fireworks. How nice. Have you studied redox color reactions, Hanaki? Oh, yes, in middle school. Copper turns green and sodium turns red and that sort of thing. You learned that in middle school? No, sodium turns yellow, right? Oh, that's right. Silly me. Anyway, that's how fireworks work. So beautiful. Though... Wow, we are going for it. Though, your eyes are even more beautiful, sir. He fell asleep. He held up pretty well, but I guess he gets even sleepier than usual as soon as the sun goes down. And besides, I think the girl is supposed to get told she's prettier than the night, not the man. Oops. Man, yeah, we were just like, let's go. Let's hit on our teacher. Let's go. I know I should have gotten up when I first woke up. I slept too late. School starts today, right? Oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, hello, Hanaki. Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Oh, I overslept. Overslept? Oh, my homework. I forgot to bring my homework. Aren't you getting a bit ahead of yourself, Hanaki? Huh? What's the number in the top left-hand corner say? Oh, you're just a little bit early. Though, since you're here, could you lend me a hand for a bit, Hanaki? Lend you a hand? I was about to start grading the freshman exams, and I thought maybe you could help if you don't have something else. Of course, you have a test in September, so if you want to go and study in the library, I want to help Mr. Nanaki. You will? Oh, thank you. I'll go make us some tea. And so I spent the morning grading tests in the air-conditioned staff room like a proper little lady. This tea is very good. It has mango in it. I do like sweet tea. Mango and tea sounds lovely. I don't eat a whole lot of mango, but it sounds nice. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had fun over the summer. Goo! Oko-san is always having fun. Yup. What is this fun? Once summer's over, time starts slipping by faster than ever. Try to stay focused. Focus, sir! Focus! Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da. I couldn't taste the mango in the tea I made today. Pon, you went too hard on the cranberry. I'm sorry. Did you... So... This was a thing that Pon talked about in a group chat thing, but like, did you like hand make the tea, or was that just like a blend tea that was supposed to taste like multiple things, but just ended up tasting like cranberry? Huh? Is that a student ID? Whose is it? Someone from 2-2. Not a name I recognize. I know whose that is. Should I go find their classroom? They may already have gone home, though. Well, any teacher will do, right? It was a blend that just tasted of cranberry. Ah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Kind of a waste of money, that. Sir. Sir. Oh. Hello, Sumire. Did you forget to turn in your homework? I found someone's ID card, sir. Someone from 2-2. I thought I should take it here. Oh, thank you, Sumire. I can take care of it. Huh? What is it? Nothing. You did find this today, right, Hanaki? Yes, in the corridor just outside. This student has been absent since the middle of June. How strange. So, I don't know if anybody else picked up on it. Now that we've done this scene again after we've done Angel, the implication here is that Shu has already killed Angel, and he is dead. And we just happened to find his ID card, because that ID card is Angel's. So, yeah, he's not alive anymore. Which is unfortunate. Poor little guy. So then, was the card lying there all summer? Nobody noticed it? R.I.P. to the smartest character in the game. No. I love Angel so much. What a good guy. It's awfully clean, though. Shouldn't it at least be dusty? Anyway, I'll take care of it. Thank you, Hanaki. Yeah, oh shit is right. Yeah, Angel is dead. Today's an elective day. What should I do? Math. All we're gonna do this whole time. Oh, have I not? I haven't bad ended yet. Oh man, I have to bad end to get everything. I'm gonna have to figure out the best way to bad end as quickly as possible. Okay. Yeah, we have to bad end to get the true ending as well, so we'll try and do that a little bit later as well. I had hoped for something a little more interesting from an elective, but oh, this is dull. I can barely keep up, even though Mr. Nanaki explains everything so oh, it's me! I can barely keep up, even though Mr. Nanaki explains everything so clearly. So this is all easy for you, Sakuya? Wow. Are you trying to curry favor with me? He looks happy, though. Jaja! Sumire leveled up, wisdom increased by 5. Oh, have we not had the feather scene before? I feel like we should have. I feel like I've seen this a lot. I think you get it with Kazuaki and... what the heck is going on? The classroom is filled with a cloud of dancing feathers. Did somebody eviscerate a down pillow or something? Ryota, what? Maybe they didn't clean up properly yesterday? It is molting season, so... Well, one little breeze and it looks like this unless we make sure to keep everything clean. Now that I look closely, Ryota's head feathers are looking a little loose, too. I guess everybody's growing themselves new outfits. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I think this might be a Kazuaki only thing. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the scene to end before I talk more. Sir, can we clean up a little bit before homeroom? Cleaning in the morning? This atmosphere is quite distracting. Who was supposed to clean yesterday? Whew! Oko-san! Wretched mongrel. Can't you even fulfill the duty given to you? Come on, arguing won't solve anything. It'll be easy if we all pitch in. And so we swabbed the room down before homeroom. Oh no, they're not going to talk about it. Okay, I will not say anything then. Oh no, we're still going. This is a lot of feathers, not enough for a futon, but I bet we could make a nice pillow. It certainly is more than usual. Did they come out in the window? Did they come in the window, perhaps? Huh? Sir, did you spill some chlorine on yourself? Chlorine? No, we don't use that kind of detergent. But, you really smell like it. Oh, that would be the bleach. Okay, yes, we're talking about him bleaching. Okay. Bleach? Sir, are you one of those degenerates who bathes with bleach powder? No, I dozed off and got stuck in the washing machine last night, that's all. That's dangerous. Sir, please be careful. Yes, I'll, I guess there wasn't any way he was gonna stay awake after helping us clean the room. I thought there was gonna be a little bit more information than that. But yes, keep in mind that Kazuaki smells like bleach. And he always does. It's a secret that's important later. Today's a school festival. Our class decided to do a maid cafe. I'm not scheduled to work until tomorrow, so I have the day off. I don't have anything to do, so I guess I'll go look around. So many things to do. Oh, I can't choose. Oh, Hanaki. Mr. Nanaki? What is it? Your shift is tomorrow, right? Yep. Could you maybe help me at the reception desk? We're getting a lot more people than we expected. Of course, I shall mete out information and directions like an Oni of old, cleaver in hand, seated atop of throne wrought from the skulls of my foes. Thank you, I'll go get a chair. Entirely unfazed. It looks like the crowd is thinning out a little. Oh, that was tiring. Are you okay, sir? I'm fine, just a little... At least he held up pretty well until now. It's almost time to clear up and prepare for classes tomorrow. And so I spent the last hours of the festival nervously watching Mr. Nanaki sleep, slipping ever lower in his chair. I really like that visual, actually, of us just watching this bird slowly slide down out of his chair. Oh, I handed in my recorder instead of my math homework. What do I do? Is Mr. Nanaki still in the staff room? Excuse me. Huh? Mr. Nanaki and Dr. Iwamine. I hadn't expected to see them together. And you see nothing peculiar about these numbers? Nothing at all. There's a statistical deviation visible in the data on students from the past few years. I'd hoped to get some insight from you, but it would seem I've overestimated you. Really? Sorry I couldn't help then. I'll, of course, side with Kazuaki. That's not very nice, Doctor. What do you want? Hello, Hanaki, what is it? Sir, I gave you my recorder earlier instead of my homework. So you did. Here you go. And here's the workbook. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Like teacher, like pupil. Shut up, Shu. Today was good. Oh, this is an extra scene, I think. Yes, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Today was good. The true real life. I think I'll go home and spend some fulfilling life time before going to bed. I don't know what's happening. with that word emphasis. Ah, Sumire! Hi, Ryota! You know where Mr. Nanaki lives, right? Yeah, but why do you ask? He left his phone in the staff room. He's already left, but you know how slowly he moves. If you hurry, you could catch up to him before he gets home. I could take it to him, but I need to run some errands for my mother before I go home, so I was wondering maybe if you could... Ah, sure, I'm not doing anything. Ah, thank you. Mr. Nanaki's phone. Now that I think about it, I don't know anything about his personal life. Is he always as spacey as he is at school? He probably spends 97, I think that's supposed to be percent, that's a glitch. He probably spends 97% of his time at home asleep. A piece of paper fell out of his phone case. Oh, what's this? Huh? It's a photo. A photo of a bird? But I can't see the face at all. Someone has scribbled all over it. Did Mr. Nanaki do this? Oh, it doesn't seem like him at all. I'll just put it back in the case? Maybe I should pretend I didn't see it. Sir? Oh, hello, Hanaki. Where are you going? You look like you're in a hurry. Sir, you forgot your cell phone. So I did. Thank you for coming after me with it, Hanaki. That was very nice of you. No problem at all, sir. Was there something else? What should I do? We are asking him about this picture. Of course we are. Sir, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to look inside, but something fell out. Fell out? The picture, Oh, yes, that. Oh, this music. Uh-oh. Spooky music. Don't worry about it. After all, it's not something you need to worry about, right? But I'm curious. It was almost completely marked out? Yes. Because I marked it out. He did? I never would have believed it from someone else, but since it's him saying so. Well, see you tomorrow. And so he left with a farewell as carefree as if we'd just been talking about the weather. He has a side I've never seen, doesn't he? Oh man, this is a background that's used quite a bit in the true ending. So this just like gave me like this hallway activated my fight or flight reflex. It's that time of year when the chill outside gradually breaks down my soul. Well, I'm done cleaning, so I guess it's time to go home. Huh? Where's my phone? I remember looking at Daily Portal Z during break, so I have some sneaking suspicions. Oh man, so it's almost impossible to kind of guess everything, but once you know, you see the clues everywhere. And this is my first time playing back through it since I've like gone through everything and done the true ending. So like seeing all this stuff now is like, oh, especially some Kazuaki stuff like that photo is very important. All right, let's see. So I can't have left it at home. We had chemistry lab today, right? Maybe I left it in there? How the door is... Oh, it's open. Good. Ah, there it is. Sitting right on the bench I worked at. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you lonely? Come on, let's head home. I do that kind of stuff. I talk to all of my technology. I talk to all kinds of stuff. Ah, I bumped into... Doctor? You again? Has your life no purpose aside from meddling with me? No, What is he even doing here? He came out of the chemistry prep room, right? Alone, after school, in the lab. What were you doing? I left something behind. Did you see anything? Huh? I talk to my PC a lot. Yeah, my PC has a name. I tend to name, like, bigger pieces of technology. So, like, my PC is named Lucy. My car is named Kiara, but all of my, like, previous cars have had, portal-based names. Right. I'm asking if you saw anything. What is he talking about? Would it be a problem if I had seen something? Very well. May I ask a favor of you, Miss Hanaki? Oh, yes, what is it? Could you bring me the files from the prep room? The black ones on the desk. Isn't this the prep room right here? They are somewhat heavy for me, but I'm sure you will have no problem with them. Would you mind? No, sir. I'm not sure I could get away with saying no. I'll just do as he says. I do not remember what's in these files. Files, files, which ones? I don't see anything like what he asked me for. That motherfucker! He locked us in! Wait! I'm locked in? Doctor! Doctor, let me out! What are you doing? Let me out! Brute! Villain! Fluffy heretic! No reply. The building's going to be locked soon, and I didn't tell anyone I was coming here. Ugh. Somebody help me! The doctor locked me in here! Why did he do that? There's no reason to, unless he thinks I saw something I shouldn't have. This must be his way of shutting me up? Or removing the evidence? Oh, that's probably it. I'm in despair. This evil doctor who will probably be coming back with a cleaver or something has left me in despair. I don't know, did Danganronpa come out? Was Danganronpa out at this point? I don't know if that was a Danganronpa reference. I'm not sure I can make it out the window, but I have to get out of here quickly, so how can I... Huh? Footsteps. Oh, coming closer. I have to hide, but there's nowhere to hide in here. Oh, I'm sorry, please don't. Huh? What are you doing here, Hanaki? School is closed already. Mr. Nanaki, I thought I heard noises coming from over here. Were you banging on the door, Hanaki? Oh, that's not good. The door isn't a punching bag. I think I can see a halo around his head. I can practically hear angels. I'm alive. Okay, I was gonna say, do we not say anything? Sir, there are some dangerous things in here, so don't come in without asking, okay? I didn't come in of my own accord. The doctor... Why does this fucking room lock from the outside? I think because it's a file room, it's like a private room. I don't know why they would make it unlock from the inside, but hey, I'm not gonna question the logic of the bird game. I didn't come in on my own accord. The doctor... That's right, I asked her to. Oh, wonderful. You did. Indeed, I am truly sorry. I completely forgot I asked her to get something and locked her in and walked off. You locked the door as soon as I walked in here. Who are you, Clive Wearing? I do not understand that reference. Clive Wearing. Clive Wearing is an eminent English musician and musicologist in his mid-40s struck by a brain infection. I do not know why this is the man with a 30-second memory. Okay, there we go. So just so you know, we learned some history today. Clive Wearing is a man who got like some kind of brain, it looks like maybe a parasite, that gave him a 30-second memory. Oh, is that it? Well, then. This whole thing stinks of ill doing, Mr. Nanaki. But the doctor said it was an accident. I think it might be best if you went home as soon as possible this time of year, Hanaki. It gets dark so quickly. That is true. I wanted to leave early, but then all of this happened. Well, then, I'll head home now. Stay safe. We'll have a career plan survey tomorrow, so don't forget the printout from earlier today. Are we gonna hear anything? Ooh! Bonus scene. Let's go. Let's have this conversation. Hanaki is a very honest girl. A very honest, nice girl, isn't she? Though she's a little bit restless. I agree completely. Anyway, I shall excuse myself now. Goodbye. Doctor. Yes. That was a little sloppy. You failed to pay sufficient attention to your surroundings. That sort of thing will be the death of you, you know. Just kidding, accidents like that happen to everyone, and you remembered to come let her out in the end, so don't worry about it. Yes, thank you, Professor. I love when Kazuaki gets a little bit of an edge to him. Ah. Finals, yay! Um, you ranked top of the year this time. Well done. Hey. I don't think that's happened before. What? She beat you by 2 points, Shirogane. Oh well. Ugh. So sus. Yes, we're hitting the routes where everything is so suspicious. We've gone from the fun ones, we're now going into like the suspicious ones. Saki is glaring daggers at me again. How nostalgic. Anyway, my hard work paid off. Yippee! I don't know the last time I've ever actually heard anyone say the word yippee. Ah, New Year. The sun, its majestic brilliance sweeps across the land, lighting it into incandescent glory. It's the first day of the new year. Looks like I'm still alive to enjoy it. It's a little cold out, but it's calm and the sun is warm. I think I'll go visit the shrine. There are a lot of birds here already. Must be nice to have a warm winter plumage. Maybe I should borrow some from somebody? I think I'll buy an amulet and go home. Ah, Sumire! I'm sorry, I'm always blindsided by Shrine Miko Ryota. Sumire! Huh? Happy New Year! Here's to many happy returns, right? What are you doing, Ryota? Exactly what it looks like. I'm working here today and tomorrow. Oh, it looks good on you. You came here to buy an amulet, right? Which would you like? I'd like one for... fulfillment in school. Here you go. Thanks, Ryota. Are you here all day today? Yup, the first day is always busy. Oh, well, I was going to ask if you wanted to get lunch together, but... sorry, Sumire. Maybe some other time? Since you're here, why not go get a fortune? They're next to the main building over there. Excuse me. Okay, thanks. See you, Ryota. Mr. Hanaki, Happy New Year. Oh, hello, Hanaki. Happy New Year. Did you get a fortune, sir? Yes, unfortunately, I seem to have drawn the chicken of ill omen. Why don't you take one? I will. Which should I take? This one. Oh, look at that chicken! Look at that silky chicken! Silky blessing. Good, you got a better one than I did. I think this will be a good year for you, Hanaki. Thank you, sir. Okay. We are almost to the end. Oof. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all had good vacations. I hibernated. What a shocker. You're still hibernating. Sir, wake up! Oh. I've said this before, but your junior year will be over before you know it. Let's enjoy this time while it lasts. There's nothing special this semester, nothing to worry about. Da 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 da. Bow. It's still light out, so maybe I'll go somewhere before I head home. Whee! Oh, tomorrow's Legumentine's. I think I'll buy some beans. Today, Legumentine's is a holiday where you give beans to the boy you like, but apparently it used to involve throwing them at pigeons. Disgraceful. Good evening, here for beans. Yes, is there any kind you think is particularly good? This year's trend is towards these bean medleys for racers, but they are a little pricey. It's hard to say without knowing the bird in question, really. That's true, and sometimes the cheap ramen tastes better than the expensive stuff. I think I'll buy, let's see, he likes country millet. I do not know what that is, but we will take it. I'll take these. Thank you, miss, here you are. Yay, beans! Today's the day, the preparations are complete. Time to give the beans to that special somebody. Sir, Mr. Hanaki. Hello, Hanaki, what is it? Today is Legumentine's, so I wanted to give you beans? You want to give them to me? Are you sure that's okay? You don't have someone else? No, sir, I want to give them to you, sir. I don't know what kind of things you like to eat, so I wasn't sure which to get, but... millet seeds. I like them very much. I've enjoyed them for a long time. They bring back good memories. Such a nice, gentle smell. Sir, they do smell nice, but please do not fall asleep. Oh, are you really sure you want to give these to me? Yes, sir. A hunter-gatherer never goes back on her word. Thank you, then. I wonder what I should give you in exchange. I'll have to think about it. And so he wandered off towards the staff room, a gentle smile on his face. Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad he liked them. Cute. The semester's almost over. In a few short days, I will no longer be a sophomore. But Nanaki said earlier we were juniors. It's fine. But there's one thing I have to do first. One thing I need to do. I don't know what we're doing. Ooh, is this a confession scene? Ooh, baby, let's go. Hello, Hanaki. What is it? Asking to meet outside is a little odd. If it's about your career plan, don't worry. You're still a sophomore, so you don't have to decide for a few months yet. No, sir, I wanted to ask you something. Oh, please do. Sir, I like you. Is that all right? You do say the strangest things, Hanaki. I like you too. You're kind, smart, you work hard. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, sorry, this hit this, pain Pecco. Alright. Listen, I'm no longer able to love another creature. It's not your fault, the Hanaki, I'm sorry. No longer able to love another creature? What does he mean? You saw it, remember? Saw what, sir? The photo? Yes, sir, I didn't mean to. Don't worry about it, I knew you wouldn't lie. I suppose I should tell you. That was a photo of the most important bird in my life. I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to come in between. I thought we could live through anything, just the two of us. I think we meant more to each other than anybody else in the world. But one day I looked around, I was alone. Life changed after that. I stopped caring about a lot of things. Sorry, okay, we're starting the sad early, okay. I can never forget our life, our promises. But I'm not sure how to say this. As I looked at the photo every day, I realized I couldn't tell anymore. I couldn't tell if I felt love when I saw that face, or if... Thank you, Pon. Thank you for breaking the tension a little bit. This hurts more with knowing the context. This is sad. Couldn't tell if I felt love when I saw it, or if I felt hatred. I think losing someone dear is painful for everyone. After a while, I couldn't stand to see it anymore. So you... That's right. But even as I tried to forget, some part of me didn't want to. You see now, right? Why I don't want to love again. By now, the love I felt has soured into resentment. Rather than forcing all that hatred onto one person, I think it's better to love everyone around you just enough that you won't regret losing them. That's too sad. You don't agree, Hanaki? I love your kindness, sir, but when I see that kindness bringing you pain, I have to wonder if there isn't a better way. I wonder. By the way, there's one more thing I should tell you. That photo. It's gone now. I burned it. Okay. Huh? When you saw it, it made me think about things again. I never would have shown it to anyone, so I was rather shaken. We both knew that one of us would be gone one day, and neither of us would have wanted the other to mourn. So as I looked at the photo, I thought it was better to put it away, so I burned it. Sort of as an apology for defacing it like that. I should remember the beautiful face I knew, not a photo covered in scribbles. Oh, Hanaki, just because I'm a teacher doesn't mean you should always look up to me. That doesn't have anything to do with it. But I understand that you don't want to forget her, sir. I have an idea, Hanaki. I will be waiting here at this... I will be waiting here at this school forever. If after you've grown up a little, you still feel the same way, I'll be here for you. Sir, that's... I think I know this sad music from another game. Let me listen for a second. I don't know. I don't like to make idle promises, but... I'm sure you'll grow into a wonderful person, Hanaki. So, let's wait until then. Yes, sir. Graduating, growing up, and then coming back here. That will be another story. I don't know what he will say to me on that day. I don't know what I will feel or what he will feel, but right now, I'm truly happy. I don't know how you are. Okay. I forgot. Now, I didn't forget that Kazuaki is sad. I forgot that that's how his route ended. And that kind of hurts. Oh, some of the music is Kevin MacLeod, so it might be free music that you've heard somewhere. There's a number days. I'll have to look. Okay. What may come? Yay. Alright, okay, so really quickly, I'm gonna bad end. I'm gonna find the fastest way to bad end. And then I will take a little break and we'll move on to another route. Let's see. Friend bad end. Guide? Because the normal guide I'm using is just like, just don't date a boy. And I'm like, but how do I do that? Here we go, it's a sad thing. Unless Monka, it's a sad thing achievement. Essentially, you'll have to want to romance a particular character, then deviate from correct responses and fail to actually earn their particular ending. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and just speedrun Kazuaki real quick. Oh man, this bad ending is something. I'm excited. I'm excited to finally touch on this. All right, okay, let's go. Uh-oh. Oh, it did it again. Ah, damn it. Okay, apparently I can't load things. Game is frozen. No. No. Game is really frozen. Please free me. Okay. We'll restart it. Well, so now I know that that's busted. Okay. Indie games. Oh yeah, you know it. All right. We'll just kneel through this. Boop. And boop. Yep, that's my name. Okay. Sure. Okay. Yay. And now, speed! Let's see. I'm trying to think. So I think if we get to like, where would be a good spot to deviate? Maybe Tanabata? Meow. The Geki. I'll be back for you soon. So what did you guys think of Kazuaki? He's much more complicated than you would be led to believe. That is really what I like about this game, though, is like, some of the characters, like, you look at them and you're like, I know, why is he so sad? Oh man, I wonder if there's maybe a very, very long true ending that goes very in depth about why he's so sad. Okay, that didn't mess up anything because we can do anything for Kazuaki. It's more complex than what I thought. Yeah, it's oof. Okay, so we gotta do clerk. Just stop sad. I thought he's like a side character. He becomes, let's see, I would say probably the second most important character in the true ending. And I think that is absolutely on purpose. They make, like, they put Kazuaki at the end of these lists and they just like don't reflect on him a whole ton, just to like slide him in there in the true ending for the ultimate gut punch. It's very good. It's good writing. I hate it, but it's very good. Math, yay. Yay! Let's see, I think I'm gonna go to the bit where he walks us home, and that's where I'm gonna deviate. Okay, so three-legged race. At least this way I know I'm not, like, accidentally skipping something we haven't already seen. Okay, and then we go to the infirmary. Came here to skip class. More math. Okay, done about that. Let's go, yay! Ryota, yay! Should I wish for? Rule the world from the shadows. Can I please skip? Why can't I skip? Uh-oh. I can't skip. I have to manually click. Okay. Just because it was too short? Okay, so we'll say yes, please, and then after this I will deviate, I think. I forget what the next choice is. So that this guide is very good in that it doesn't give spoilers. It just tells you kind of what things to pick. Why can't I skip anymore? Why can't I go fast no more? Okay, bye. Goodbye. Okay. Can I go now? There we go, it's back. Yay, nyong. Okay, so the Sakuya one, You know what, I'm going to keep going on this one, and then when we get to the festival, I'm not going to invite Kazuaki, and we'll see what happens. I was hoping for rapid clicking. No, I don't want to do that. I get enough rapid clicking stuff in Stardew Valley whenever I try to fish. Get a cramp in my hand. Hi, Azami, we'll come visit you later, bye! Okay, yeah, we're not gonna get a job. We'll come back to that later, actually. I'm excited to get to that bit later, actually. Okay, so I am not going to invite Kazuaki. I'm going to invite Ryota. So from here until I bad end, I'm just going to choose the exact opposite of Kazuaki stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to pick up when it's let's do it. Okay. I do need to say this line because it's a good line. Forgive me, sir, but I need to go home. I must return to my people with the spoils of war, lay my bloodied sword at the feet of my great king, and celebrate my conquest of all the lands from here to distant Macedonia. Oh. Have fun? Love it. Okay. Yum 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 yum. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Bleach, yes, bleach, uh-huh. Our girl be a warrior queen, she absolutely is. She's a hunter-gatherer. Okay. I swear. Let me bad end, let me do it. Okay, so we side with Shu. Come on, let me bad end. Let me do it. Huh? Nope. Okay. At the end of every scene, I'm gonna be like, is it gonna do it? Okay, and we're not gonna ask about the picture. No, pretend I didn't see it. Bye. Come on. Come on, bad end me! Do it. Do it, you cowards. Okay. I know that there's a faster way to do this. There has to be a faster way to do this because, like, I feel like I've done this faster before. Come on. Come on, do it. Ah, dang it. I think I might have done too much. I think I might have done too much on the Kazuaki bit. And bad end. Quickest, I guess. Let me see. Let me see. Game facts, can you help me? Because we have to bad end. We have to. Okay, yep, neat. And I see bad end. Let's see. I recommend just continuing on the bad end since your routes can similar to on gels. Okay. Okay, so this person set it up in a wonderful way where actually you can do one of Azami's endings and then bad end. What if there's a faster way? Dang it, wonderful. I'm so happy there's a bot here. Thank you, Saribot. Saribot's on it. We'll sit with this for just half a second. Sorry, guys. Gives me a second to read this, though. See if there's a faster way to do this. Because I don't want to go all the way through Azami to get here. At least it works, yep. Yeah, damn Haas. Every time I Google Hatoful Boyfriend, I see the one article that says Hatoful Boyfriend is the Evangelion of visual novels, and they're not wrong. Is there a faster way? You know what? You know what? We might as well... One sec. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this. I am going to do a quick break, though, just to go use the restroom, and then when we come back, I will do Azami, so we can knock out Azami and also the bad end. That actually makes sense, because, like, we can get around to the Azami thing without particularly romancing anybody. But it's a very, very, very cute sequence, so I think it's gonna be fun. Alright. Okay, I will be back in just a little bit. Everybody, I know, use the bathroom, go get some water, go get a snack. Hello! Hello! Welcome back. Let me do this and then restart the game. Okay, let's do the cute Azami route. Hello! So this route, well, so Azami has two routes, surprisingly. And this one is called the Cafe Story. It's so cute. Hello, everyone! Hope you guys had a good short commercial break. Okay, once more with feeling. Yeah, we'll kill... I hate saying the phrase two birds with one stone, but we will get, we'll kill two birds with one stone by bad ending and also tackling Azami all at once, because I forgot about both of those things. Sure. Okay. Alright. And we're off. Okay. Hi, Kazuaki. Bye, Kazuaki. Sorry, just reading one thing on this little guide here. Luxembourg Angeles. Okay. Okay. You just continue after getting Azami's cafe ending. Okay. I think this will get us to the cafe. Alright, let's go. This guide is not formatted as nicely as the original one that I had, so I'm going to immediately go back to it as soon as I'm done with this. Hi, Yuya. We'll be dating you in a minute, good sir. Meow. Hi, Shu. I hate you. Bye, Shu. Actually, I don't hate Shu. He's a fun character. I would dropkick him, though, given the opportunity. Continue on, please. Okay, so first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be joining the infirmary staff. Lovely. Okay. And then we should do math. Yay. Oh, let me do this since, well, no, we're gonna come back to this for Yuya, so I'm gonna skip over it for right now. Okay, so we're gonna touch the desk. I'll read this one because I think we do leave it alone in the Yuya one. Just putting files back in order should be fun. You. Again. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello, Dog. Hello, everybody, and the Raiders. Hi, hi. Welcome to Hatoful Boyfriend, the game where we date birds. Today we are actually doing some of the sadder routes, believe it or not. There is sadness in the bird game. But yes, hi. Thank you guys so much for the raid. Nice to see you all. Doctor, when did you... I just got back, but... Oh my, we do have sticky fingers, don't we? That's not it! Sakazaki asked me to clean... Clean? Oh, I see you're on the staff now. Yes. Did he say anything about going near the desk? Yes, sir. Please do be more careful next time. Curiosity killed the cat, among other things. Yes, sir. Let's never do that again. Yeah. But yes, you guys coming in with the raid right now, we're doing a little bit of a side route because we are on our way to unlocking the true ending. And it takes a very, it's a process. Okay, so now we're gonna do Kazuaki. Already talked to you today, so goodbye. And then more math. Okay, yep, festival. We're doing a lot of shoe stuff, actually. Why is this? Huh. I'm just gonna trust the guide. What should I do? We are gonna be doing the first aid tent, I guess. Feels weird, but okay. Feels like we're making a lot of shoe choices right now, I don't know why. Cool. Neat, yep, uh-huh. Okay, so now we are going to the infirmary again. Why? I'm here to skip class. Goodbye. Okay, more math. What is happening? Delphine, hello! It is nice to meet you. Everybody say hello. Tanabata. Okay, so we have Yuya and Nanaki. That's kind of where we're at right now. We've done some options for those. So I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys picked up, but the things that you see on Tanabata is like it gives you kind of a hint about where you are at, like whose routes you're getting close to. So, we're gonna choose something that is for neither Ryota or Nanaki. We are going to conquer the world by force. I wish to crush all opposition that rises before me and rule the world with an iron fist. And we are not going home with you. Goodbye! Delayed hello because I was trying not to die. Oh, no, I understand, Senti. Sometimes Dark Souls is hard. Okay, we're still doing math. But then this is gonna trigger... Okay, this is gonna trigger a chew scene. Alright. I'll read it. Why not? Oh, actually, no, we're gonna be doing this with Yuya. We're gonna skip it. Yeah, when we come back to Yuya, we'll handle this later. But we are gonna say that we were with Yuya. Bye. Saved you from getting murdered, dude. Okay, finals. Yay. Yay. Okay. Okay, infirmary. Okay, we are gonna tackle this with Yuya. We ask him about the missing students, though, which is interesting. Okay. Let me see. Is this a Yuya thing? Just real quickly. If we're gonna come back to it, I'm not gonna read it. If we aren't, then I will. Yuya, where are you? You know what? We actually do not pick this for Yuya. I kind of wonder about what Yuya said last week. Maybe I'll test the waters. Sir? I heard that sometimes students disappear after coming in here and, Who told you? No one in particular. Everybody's talking about it. It's kind of like a school legend or something? So, you believe in urban legends. What? No, not really. Just that it would be kind of cool if it were true. Why do we say that it would be kind of cool? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Then we shall leave it at that. That it would be cool if you were to disappear? Or something like that. I guess I shouldn't have expected a straight answer in the first place. I can never tell what the doctor is thinking when I talk to him. Alright. Okay. Is that really gonna... I don't know if this is gonna actually bad end me, but it is gonna put me on the Izami route. School doctor is a murderer, sexy if true. Pun, he put our head in a jar. In another life. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna be, we're gonna go meet Izami. Hello! Bird on a scooter. Carve it into your soul, kid. That's kind of sexy. Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, so here's where we're gonna deviate. This is where we get to Izami. We're gonna go get a job. And you guys are gonna have to listen to my southern accent again. I think I saw a flyer at the station hiring high school students over the summer. It was the cafe, right? Love this. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's beautiful in here. Oh my. Gonna become a doctor murderer. Oh, pardon me, miss, but we're not open yet. If you could come back at noon. Oh, sorry, I was here to ask about the job. The proprietor of the cafe is an extremely elegant parakeet. I love his big dumb face. A true gentle bird without a doubt. This must be what people mean when they refer to a mature attractiveness. All the students at school are young and hyper, and the most dignified birds are the teachers. Oh, is that right? Forgive me. I am called... Oh gosh, I know I had trouble saying this with a southern accent last time. I'm called Urushihara Kenzaburo. I'm the owner of Torimi Cafe. I'm Sumire Hanaki. Welcome, Miss Sumire. I hadn't expected a human. Are you gonna interview me? I do not see the need to test such a wonderful young lady's desire to work here. And I believe you will be much more capable than I at moving these boxes of coffee and tea about. Oh, I'd be glad to. Let me see. Okay. After all, I am a vitality girl. Sora! Thank you so much for the follow! I shall be relying on you for this summer then, Miss Sumire. It is, perhaps a little sudden, but could you start tomorrow? Of course. I'm glad. I shall be waiting for you here in my cage. How do you get yourself in and out of the cage? Tomorrow then, Miss Sumire. Yay! We're gonna have a cute cafe summer job. Today is my first day working at Mr. Urushihara's cafe. I think I'll leave early to make a good impression. Good morning, Miss Sumire. Good morning, sir. Let me start by showing you where everything is. I'm sure you'll be able to remember everything soon, so please ask if you can't find something. He never says he closes the cage. You know what, Pawn? You're right. He shows me around the cafe, explaining everything inside. The shop is small and he keeps everything very tidy, so I'll be able to remember it all. Well then, what do you think? It's very nice. I almost want to move in. Ah, come now, it's far too plain for a young lady such as yourself. Actually, compared to my house, which is a cave. Excuse me. Man, I always feel bad for taking this job from Ryota. I'm sorry, man. I saw a flyer at the station and, Ryota? Sumire? What are you doing here? A friend of yours, Miss Sumire? Oh, yes, this is Ryota. You came for the job too, Ryota? Yeah, I saw that it starts at noon, so I thought I could fit it in after my other job. But if you've already got the position, then that's that. Mr. Urushihara, could you use 2 people? Sadly, my cage is too small to have that much work to do. I should. We're gonna take the job this time, do the job I was hired for. I'm sorry, Ryota, but I really want to do this. Oh, don't worry about it, Sumire. I've got a couple more places to check. Perhaps some other time. I will be here if you're looking for something later on. I'll keep that in mind, sir. Have fun, Sumire. Cute bird cafe. It's almost opening time. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm not about to mess up after taking the job from Ryota. I wonder who the first customer of my life will be. He gets like 7 jobs, it's fine. Oh man, what voice do you have? She says y'all. They say y'all. Y'all get a new girl? A human? Budgerigar? Steps in the door. The first customer of my life? A young man who doesn't quite suit the atmosphere of the cafe. Oh, he's a punk. I forgot there's a whole punk thing. Alright. I was hoping for some birdie who'd raise a few more flags. Maybe a white peacock? Oh, welcome. Would you like a bath or a meal? Or, maybe you would like Mr. Urushihara? I'll take Kenzaburo. Hey, wait just a minute now. I don't know what voice I'm doing right now. Yes, a perfect delayed reaction. Rabu, that's correct. Oh, hello, Rabu. This is Rabu, Miss Sumire, a regular customer. Okay. I'm gonna have to pick a voice for him. I'll just go slightly, I don't know, slightly British, I guess. I'm something of an important figure here. See this card? 206 stamps. Amazing. Is he a cafe addict? Hey, what was all that when I came in? I wanted to provoke that reaction out of someone with a Kansai accent. Oh, dang it, since I was a little girl. Oh, what part of... Okay, I don't know the equivalent translation for a Kansai accent. Thank you, Mr. Rabu. Thanks to you, my dream has come true and I can die happy. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna give him a southern accent. Y'all is pulling me back over there. Y'all lost me on the roadside there. Well, that's how it is. Sumire, right? That seat there is my private property. Y'all remember that now? A new customer, a new encounter in the little bird cage. Today is a good day. I shall make some coffee to celebrate. I'm just gonna say everybody here is southern, it's fine. Please sit down, both of you. I've always thought that this job is so cute and so nice. And it's actually based on a real bird cafe. It's so cute. And so the 3 of us enjoyed an early afternoon pot of coffee. Wait, Aren't I supposed to be working? Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, here we go with this thing. Oh, shoot, this is different. Okay. There's not a log though, is there? Dang it. I hate that this game doesn't have a log. All right. On my own, of course, riding the stormy waves of life alone is what we humans are all about. Okay, this is different than what I thought it was. Hey, human. I forgot about the Mohawk birds. I forgot about the Mohawk birds. All right. What? Suddenly I'm surrounded by a bunch of unkempt pigeons. You go to St. Pigeonations, don't you? I bet a rich little girl like you gets a lot of pocket money from Daddy, huh? The punctions. The punctions. Rich little girl going to a fancy school thinks she's so great. Darn it, I can't tell them apart. I can pick Ryota out of a crowd of about 80% of the time, but rock doves I've just met all look the same. That might be racist. Do you have some business with me? If not, go away. I think this actually might be the same sprite as Ryota, just with some clothes thrown on. Hey, that's not nice. Show us some cash first. Cash. They puff up their chests threateningly. Ah, dumb punks. Picking on girls in the park is a good way to get ostracized for life. What? What? You little... Oh, they're angry now. My hunter-gatherer instincts can feel a fight coming. 3 pigeons on my own? Can I win this? Can you do a Valley Girl accent? Kind of. It takes me a second to find it. When I play Monster Prom, with friends, I can do Polly. Like, for some reason, I can get just, like, right into Polly, like, no problem. But sometimes it takes me a second. Slam, thud. Huh? The work of a moment. Some birdie flits forward, and in the blink of an eye, the doves are knocked to the ground, twittering in surprise. Looming majestically over the fallen doves is... my girl! Azami! That was close, Sumire. Are you sure you should be out this late? What the fuck? Who are you? Me? Well, I'm a passing takoyaki lady. Takoyaki? Don't screw with us. Love Azami's theme. It's so good. Oh, they're stubborn. Here they come. We're not gonna take this from a finch and a human. Take this. Yeah. Not done yet, huh? I'll teach you chicks a lesson. Sparrow kick. So cool. Your sparrow kick is super cool, Azami. Don't relax just yet. This is where the real fight starts. Azami fluttering magnificently under the glow of the neon lights, and me gleefully punching the daylights out of the punctions. Fighting back to back. Now that's trust. Thanks, Azami. Okay. Alright, okay. So I think this actually might be potentially where we can bad end here. Well, it deviates a lot here. It looks like it was kind of setting us up to do Shu. Okay, I'm gonna skip over this since I've done this previously. Okay, here we go. I'll see if I can give Rabu a Valley Girl accent. Let's see. What? Time sure flies when I'm in here. See y'all around, Kenzaburo! Oh, hey, Sumire! Rabu finally heading home after staying in the cafe for much of the day, gestures to me on his way out the door. Here, this is your tip. It's the magical candy from the pocket of an old lady from Osaka? So young... this is obviously like a regional thing. So young men from Osaka can do it too. I'm wondering if there's like this whole thing about like old ladies from Osaka always having candy in their pockets? See y'all around! Good day to you, Rabu. Wow, I don't know what that was. I think it's time to close up. Would you care for something, Sumire? It won't be as good after sitting overnight. Is there any Tonjiru left? Of course. Here you are. Look at how cute that cup is. Oh. Tanjiro from a fancy cup is the best. By the way, Mr. Urushihara? Yes? Mr. Rabu comes in here every day, right? He does, yes. I wonder what he does. Is he a night security guard or something? Chauffeur, apparently. He's generally out all night. He likes to come here to relax before work. Budger who works at night? I'm sorry, I can't say that bird species. There are those among us parrots who prefer the night. The moon is wonderfully calming on clear nights. Rabu is renowned for being a very careful and reliable driver. And here I took him for the type to go wild behind the wheel. Haven't I met another careful driver recently? Ayy, I wonder what that means. Okay. The late sunset in summer makes it easy to stay out late. I feel like my internal calendar is off already. I think I'll get some udon and go home before I get life counseled. Huh? Oh, we haven't done this. Oh wait, isn't that Yuya? He's rummaging around in the garbage. Oh, this might be a Yuya scene. I'm gonna skip it. All you need to— he was digging in the garbage. Yay! One more week till the end of August. Guess my summer job is over. I'll miss this place. Thank you for everything, Miss Sumire. It has been a pleasure. Likewise, thank you for everything, Mr. Urushihara. I think I'll be back here sometime as a customer. Oh, you're retiring early? Miss Sumire is a student, and so must return to her studies with the turning of the leaves. I haven't even finished half my summer homework. I don't know why we have the emoji. Okay. Whoa, doing the last half in 1 week? I reckon you'll do just fine. Gonna feel really lonely without you. I don't know what Rabu's voice is anymore. At least Kenzaburo ain't going anywhere. Naturally not. Rabu sips from his cup. I think after working here for a month, I can safely say that he accounts for the majority of this cafe's business. Every birdie who comes here probably thinks of it as an oasis in the city, an island of soothing parakeet in the sea of urban life. Kind of a pity that so few people come in. Oh, welcome. Tadashai. Azami, you came! Can't exactly refuse an invitation from my sweet little protege now, can I? When did I become your protege? Okay then. Yay, have a seat, please! Azami, is that you? My heart, I just remembered what this scene is. Her expression suddenly hardens. It feels like the cafe is going to burst. It feels like one of those scenes when the retired cop finally faces down the mob boss just before the bullets start flying. Do you know each other? You might say that. You disappear one day and then turn up sipping tea in a place like this. Left us all behind, have you? Azami, how do you think I felt these past 6 months? She looks ready to fly at him at any moment. Azami, I don't know what's happened between you two, but Mr. Rabu is a nice man now. He drives cars and gives out candy. Please forgive him. Maybe don't say it like that he drives cars and gives out candy. That sounds bad. Stay out of this, kid. It doesn't concern you. What happened, Mr. Rabu? I've never seen her this mad. And since when are you calling yourself Rabu? I forgot about Blaster! I love this image, oh my god. I remember your sexy rapturous eyes back then. He used to be a living legend, kid, the leader of the toughest bikers around. Back then, there wasn't a bird on the night roads who didn't know the name of Hosokawa Blaster. Yeah, welcome to this. Carve it into your souls. When we stand together, ain't no birdie gonna hold us back. I was young then. Oh my god. Every one of us Hell's birdies would have followed you to the ends of the earth, and we all knew we would have gotten there without a single traffic violation. Since when do biker gangs obey traffic laws? You don't get it, kid. You're still a rookie. You can ride with the law. When you ride on the inside. You were pretty famous for your strong ideals. Riding with the soul, as wild as any other gang, but never breaking the law. You were my hero. But a hero doesn't run away, and you did. As soon as I confessed to you, you were gone. Done with the gang tales, on to the love story. Azami, I can tell I've hurt you. I'm sorry. But... Tension crackles in the air. Only Mr. Urushihara remains exactly as he was when it all started, slowly polishing glasses behind the counter. So, Mr. Rabu used to lead a biker gang, and his real, fake name is Hosokawa Blaster? This entire situation seems extremely out of place here. Wait, haven't I seen the name Blaster somewhere before? Will you listen to me, Azami? It's a little late for that. 6 months of tea and cake and you look like Mr. Faba Bean. Mr. Faba Bean? It fits so well. I don't like fat men. Wow, Azami! All my love for you burned up long ago. Azami subjects Mr. Fava Bean to a harrowing tirade over his new physique. At this rate, Mr. Fava Bean won't be able to get a word in edgewise. Has she really stopped loving Mr. Fava Bean? I should bring up... Okay, I think this might be a place where I want to save. Let me take a look. Before I click forward, I think I might want to make a save here. Damn girl, we don't body shame. Exactly! Azami! Okay. Yes, okay. I do make a save here. And hopefully it works. Please, please, please work. I don't want to have to do this again, because literally I just have to choose between these two choices, and that's all of Azami. So on this one, let's see, what do they tell us to do? We're gonna bring up her scooter. And then next time we'll bring up her martial arts. Azami, I don't think you've forgotten Mr. Fava Bean. What's all this, Sumire? I think I've given up on Rabu's voice. I think you think about him all the time, even now. What are you talking about, kid? I know it. Your scooter right outside is emblazoned with his name. I saw it when we first met. Writing his name right on her vehicle like that? She loves him, I'm sure of it. You still like Mr. Fava Bean, right, Azami? Sumire, my name isn't... I saw it with my own 2 eyes. When you gave me a ride home and a lecture on traffic laws. You're pretty sharp for a human, kid. It's written in red paint all over the, wheel well of your scooter. She's right. I haven't forgotten you. What a sad story. You left without even saying no, and I'm still chasing your shadow. Azami, trying to sympathize with me? No, thanks. I've had enough of that. You threw me away, and there's nothing that can change that. Oh, no, Azami, listen to me. I never threw you away. I didn't know if I could settle down with you. I was an outcast. I was a hero on the midnight roads, but would I be a good father? Think about it. Any guy will panic a little when the girl he likes confesses like that. Yes, but is the hero of the Midnight Riders really supposed to be that timid? I sat down and I thought, I had to go straight. I couldn't have made you happy like that. I'm sorry I left you behind. I was planning to come back to you when I'd saved money, but that wasn't good either. Maybe this is destiny. Like Billiken said, our souls are being tested even now. Hosokawa Blaster, your eyes look like they did back then. Azami, enough girl talk. Marry me! Yay! Of course! Yay! Cute! Then I think we'll get a quick credits? Maybe? There we go. Wait, no, it's not over yet. Stop the credits. Marriage is what brings us together today. This is supposed to be the story of my romance, not theirs. Who did that? Who started the ending scene there? Jeez. That was kind of amazing, Mr. Urushihara. Yes, a little excitement here and there is not a bad thing. Such things just make our lives richer. I wonder if my life is richer now. No doubt it is. Well then, a few more hours till we close, Miss Sumire. Yes, sir. those who want to see others. Oh, she's winking! That's so cute! Those who want to be seen. The soothing mecca for all such people. Torimi Cafe, Poco's Forest. So I believe the Torimi Cafe... So this is the real cafe! This is the real cafe! Tea next to chattering... This is just the cafe promo! Curry rice to die for. It's so cute. Club Hana. Oh. Right in the middle of Kobe, just a little ways from Osaka. And if you still haven't had your fill of avian company, the zoo is just right around the corner. The excellent, fantastic Torimi Cafe. The birds are here waiting for you. I want to see if Torimi is still open. Real Bird Cafe. Okay, so it's actually called Poko no Mori. Oh, that's the kanji for Mori. That makes sense. Cute. I can't tell if it's still open or not, but it's a real cafe, and that's really cute. Oh, okay, so it's a Torimi Cafe Poko no Mori. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. I shall be waiting here in my birdcage for you. Oh yeah, Kenzaburo was an actual bird there. So cute. Carve it into your soul, kid. Love, Blaster. I said the game isn't over yet. Okay, and we'll circle back to do Azami's second ending here in a minute, but we have to bad end first. Knew I should have gotten up when I first woke up. Okay, we're gonna return to my glorious abode. Okay. Da 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 do da. Okay, and then we do, for some reason, music class. That might be to deviate off of Shu, because you have to do math every time for Shu, I believe. So that just broke the Shu ending. Okay, this is Kazuaki, so now we have to break the Kazuaki route. Oh man. This is actually very complicated. Okay, school festival, doot-doot-doot-doot. Who are they even gonna put me with? Oh yeah, Kazuaki, yep, yeah, so we just have to break the Kazuaki route, and then we should bad end. Okay, and very easy to break it here, side with Shu. Okay, please, 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 just bad end me so I can get it over with. Huh? Huh? There we go, here we go, bad end, baby! Which brings us to our main topic, the observational reports on the human representative at St. Pidgeonations. As you can see, while she was meant to act as a goodwill ambassador, she fails to display sufficient intimacy with the birds. We of the Hawk Party cannot overlook this situation. These reports only confirm what we already knew of human nature. We will execute the termination sequence. Adjourned. Coffee, anyone? I love watching the stars at night. I can feel the excitement bubbling up from light years away. I'm assuming that's yodeling. Yodelay hee hoo. Huh? I think I just heard something. Who's there? Ninjas? You don't need to know. It'll all be over in 2 seconds. Ah! And we're dead. Womp womp. So, to circle back a little bit, the St. Pidgeonations, like that whole prerogative, was mentioned at the end of the Shu route. These were the people that also sniped Shu into the water. So, it's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. Womp womp. Alright, okay, let me load and do the second part of Azami. But yeah, we just no, we didn't even just die, we got murdered. Our neck was snapped. Oh, hey, yay, it worked! Alright, okay, second half of Azami, let's go! Now we're gonna bring up her martial arts. Azami, I don't think you've forgotten Mr. Fava Bean. What's all this, Sumire? I think you think about him all the time, even now. What are you talking about, kid? You practice your elegant kicking technique every day, right? You've been preparing a special move for your reunion with him, right? Kicks? You're right, I have. Grit your teeth! Let me see you grit those teeth! Gurren Lagann reference, dang it. Grit your teeth, Mr. Fava Bean. You'll regret dumping me until the day you die. She does actually kick him. Okay. Wump thud. And so the oasis of soothing parakeetude was transformed into a scene of avian fury. The wrath of God falling to earth in the guise of a sparrow's legs. Okay, I think... Sorry, I think this is a Ryota thing? Oh, shoot, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so we're like, okay, homework, walking home, and we see Azami. Oh, it's you. Kids like you should head home and get some sleep already. Azami, were you crying? What are you talking about? Don't make fun of me. Sorry, but as your protege, I'm really worried about you. Making my half-grown protege worry. I must be losing my edge. When I look around, her trademark pink scooter is nowhere to be seen. And she came out of the used bike shop, which means... No way, did you sell your bike? If you're having second thoughts, I'll go buy it back for you. No, it's fine. This is my way of ending things. And now that it's over, I'll look to the future. That is the way of the sparrow. The way of the sparrow. That sounds pretty cool. Goodbye, Mr. Fava Bean. It's time for me to move on. Hey, you there, hold on a sec. You were the guys who picked a fight with my cute followers, huh? Get them, bro. Yeah, get them. It's the gang of bad birdies from before. So, you brought your friends. Chicks like you should be at home washing their beaks and getting ready for bed. Don't look down on us. We brought our best fighters to pay you back. You better be ready. These doves are strong. Ganging up on her isn't fair, you punctions. Azami, I'll help too. The punctions come at us one after another. In just an instant, the nighttime city transforms into a violent battlefield. Azami lays the smackdown with her magnificent sparrow kick, and I pulverize everything with my fists of fury. We're at a huge disadvantage, but Azami and I pull through and live to see the dawn. I always thought you were something special, but you've gotten pretty strong. No, I still have a long ways to go. No, you're already a true sparrow. I'm a sparrow? What do you mean, Azami? I'm 100% human. You know, nobody's born a sparrow. You overcome obstacles and suffer hardships, but always move forward. That's what makes somebody a sparrow. Your kindness, your strength, your way of life, everything about you screams sparrow. From this day forth, hold your head high and call yourself a sparrow. Azami! I am a sparrow, Sparrow Sumire Hanaki, and no punction is a match for me. I feel it in my bones. I can trust you, and if we're together, there's nothing we can't do. I'll be counting on you, kid. Yeah. Azami and I formed a new all-girl delinquent gang, hell yeah. Only our souls run wild. Our wild birds embodied that noble spirit as we drove through the night, never once breaking any traffic laws. Okay, I don't have a car. Azami just sold her scooter. What are we driving and where are we going? And so we became legends of the midnight roads. Yay! Yay! Yes, this is the girl boss ending, you're right, Fawn. Nothing but girl boss. Amazing. Okay. What's the title of this one? To be the true Java Sparrow. Oh, and this is the kanji for woman. This is onna. Could you imagine a gang waving around a flag that just says, like, lady on it? Amazing. We love her. We love that for her. Okay, hey, that's a zombie. Alright, okay. Let's see. Do I have enough water? I do. Let's keep going. Alright. Oh, thank you, Pon, for the Ada Ada redeem. Let me do that real quick here. Oop, second. Sorry, gotta pop my neck. Alright. Ada Ada. Yeah. Alright. Okay, yes, thank you for that redeem, and now we will move on to Yuya. Good one, thank you! On streams where I'm like talking a lot and doing a lot of voices, I think the ada gets like lower for some reason. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Yuya time, baby! I'm remembering something, but I don't know if it's an actual thing that happens in this game or if it was a shit post that I saw. So good, thank you, Senti. Yep, that's my name. Okay, and we go. Sure. And we go. Okay. Da 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 boom. I just saw the name of this ending and oh yeah, I think the thing that I saw wasn't a shit post. I think it's a real thing that happens. Okay. Soon, my boy. Soon. Soon. Your ada is getting better. Thank you. I think I have like ups and downs with it. Okay. I'm gonna go do shoe. I'm gonna see a lot of you this time around. Hi, dude. I still want that shoe tie pillow that they sell online. I think it'd be cute. Whee! Cool, cool, cool. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, we are joining the infirmary staff once again. Yep. Okay, and it says to take math. May, hello! Thank you for the hydrate redeem. I will do that. Why is this bottle of water really cold? Okay. Is it cold in my room and I just can't tell? That might be the case. That's actually very common. Hello! Yes, it's good to see you! Welcome to Birds! Yay, birds! Okay. Alright, so now I will actually do this scene. Shouldn't keep them waiting. Better hurry. Salutations, Sumire. Oh, Yuya? Oh, what's wrong? Are you hurt? So sweet of you to worry for me, but no, I'm the second in command here. You are? I never would have guessed. I couldn't be happier, mon ami. Mystery is the most powerful of aphrodisiacs. Anyway, our job as staff is to check the medicines and clean up in here. Normally, I would do that. Oh, we might have a couple of follow prompts, but Saribot's banning them, so we should be okay. But today I've got some stuff I need to take care of, so could you handle this mess for me? Oh, of course! My thanks, Sumire. Oh, and don't touch the desk. It's the doctor's personal area. I'll take you somewhere nice in return. Adieu. Yuya flutters out the door. Did he just ask me out? Anyway, cleaning. Let's see. Okay, we do leave it alone for him. Some of these drugs are a little weird no matter how you look at it. Is this really an infirmary? Feels more like a human or rather avian experimentation room. Huh? The desk drawer is open and there are files sticking out. Everything was very neat when I was in here last, but maybe the doctor's a little careless about tidying up? Yuya did say not to go near the desk, but I think I'll leave it alone. We know what's good for us this time around. I'm a little curious, but he did say not to go near the desk. Better to leave it alone. The doctor might show up and turn me into some... These hotspots are starting to evolve. They are. Yeah, it's fun. Also, just like Sumire Salami works very well with my name, and I really don't know how to feel about that. It's fine. Sitting at home is so relaxing. Oh, tomorrow's the class hike. Should I prepare anything? We won't be going far, so I don't have to. Cool, who do we hang out with? Kazuaki again! We just really like hanging out with you on this hike, sir. Okay, and we're just gonna keep doing math so that we can pass certain checks. Woo! Okay, yep, sports festival. Sports festival. And now we go to the first aid tent. Yes, to hang out with Yuya. Salutations! Did you come to gaze into my eyes, mon ami? I heard the first aid team was short-handed. Salutations? Oh, alas, spurned for the sake of medicine. I must work harder to prove my love. Anyway, happy to have you. As you can see, we have plenty of work to do. The obstacle course always hurts a lot of birds. Why use a game designed for humans? Beyond me, mon ami. I suppose it's tradition. Where's the doctor? Shouldn't he be here too? Over there. He's resting in the shade of a tree, some distance away. It looks like he's taking notes on the performance of the birds on the racetrack. What's he doing over there? He doesn't want to ruin his girlish complexion working in the heat. He does the same thing every year. Is he taking notes on something? A lot of birds graduating from this school get scouted by pro sports teams, so maybe he's checking up on the promising ones? Uh-oh, they've started. We'll be busy soon. Get ready, mon ami. Yes, sir. And so I spent the sports festival patching up damaged doves with Yuya. I learned some first aid from him, so it was time well spent, I think. Midterms, whee! And we go. And we go, and we go, and we go. Okay. And let's see. Oh yes, we actually go to the store! Forgot about this scene. I don't really need anything, but I think I'll go to the store. I've never really looked around there before. Well, they got all sorts of things for sale, such as Biff. Though these nest building materials, looks like what you'd find at a human store's trash. My, how mature of you, mon ami, planning to settle down already. Yuya! No, that's not it. I'm still a high school student. That may be, but you know we doves reach sexual maturity within a year of birth. They do? That seems a little hasty. That aside, what are you here to buy, Yuya? Your love, of course. Huh? Yuya, we're not... Oh, am I not good enough? Oh well, I'll have to try again later. Is this how he talks to every girl he meets? Okay, what do we do? I think that's a little rude. I think that's a little rude, Yuya. What is? That sort of loose talk, like I'm a game or something. I don't like what you're implying here, Yuya. Yeah, same. One second, I just heard a weird noise. Oh! Oh my gosh! Eddie, I didn't see you there. You scared me. I know, lava. I know you're probably a hungry boy. Doing the next step of cutting down how much Eddie eats, so he's a little bit angry at me. Let's see. Okay. You know, that's the first time a girl's ever said that to me. I'm surprised. Thank you, mon ami. I'll carry this warning in my pigeon heart forever. Adieu. Okay. Oh! More math. Today's Tanabata. I don't know if we've ever seen Yuya's Tanabata thing. There's probably a bamboo tree in the plaza this year too. I think I'll go make a wish. Let's see who we get. Oh, here we go. Can you hear the song of the stars above? May they send you happiness, mon ami. Yuya. Oh, and we get Nanaki. Yep. What should I wish for? Rule the world from the I am sorry, sir? 1 second. Let me see if I can get him to talk. Would you like to say that into the microphone, sir? Why are you shouting at me? One more time? Oh, Pon has taken pity upon the poor Eddie. Look, here you go. Tide you over for a second, because your dinner's not for another 2 hours, silly boy. Come here. Here you go. For you. It is on the other part of my hand. It is on the other part of my hand. Okay, okay. I know you want pets. Here you go. Please, please take. Please take. Please take from me. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Say thank you. Okay, bye. Thank you, Pon. I'm sure he greatly appreciates it. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I've knocked my mic all out of the configuration here. There we go. Alright. Okay, we're gonna rule the world from the shadows. Okay, and we're not gonna go with you. Bye. Have a good night. See you later. Bye. Okay. Cleaning the classroom took longer than usual. I need to hurry to the infirmary. Oh, Sumire! What is it? I'm in a bit of a hurry. Oh, nothing much, but have you heard of the 7 mysteries of St. Pigianations? Ixia, thank you so much for the uwu. 1 second, let me put up my timer and make sure it works. Uwu plus voice acting. Yes, it's very difficult. Do I do uwu face? Can I get my uwu face? Please? Please, uwu face? I will... Oh, there we go. Uwu face. Alright. Nothing much. Just have you heard the 7 mysteries of St. Pigianation, Sumire? This school even has its own horror stories. Do tell. Yeah, well, I cannot do both the uwu voice and the other voices. I don't think. Yeah, well, I don't think I can do it. Yeah, well, there's one that says that sometimes students will disappear in the infirmary only to show up again as food in the dining hall and quill pens in the school stove. Sounds like an urban legend to me. Thank you for the redeem exceed. Sorry, I kind of tried to do Ryota's voice and it was not happening. I already struggled with doing the uwu to begin with. It does, but Dr. Iromine is pretty suspicious. Be careful, okay? You go to the infirmary a lot, right? Has he ever done anything to you? No, but... Well, you're a girl. I'm a little worried. That's fine, that's glorious. Okay, thank you, Senti, for the Nya redeem. Oh, please do this one. Oh, I might not have this one. 1 second. I need to add this as a source. Oopsie. Oopsie. Please stop. Where's... Oh! Oh, it's going. Oh, it's going, Nya. Thank you for the Nya redeem, Senti Nya. There we go, Nya. Suffer, Nya. Thanks, Nya. That's true, Nya. I'll be careful, Nya. Oh, and we're about to do a shoe scene, Nya, so I get to say Nya is shoe, Nya. Ryota has always been one to overthink things. Anyway, can't keep you waiting, Nya. Excuse me, Nya. Huh, Nya? Yuya and the doctor are talking about something, Nya. Did you really think I hadn't noticed, Nya? You sure look like you woke up on the wrong side of the nest, Nya. What are you talking about, Nya? I shouldn't have to explain, Nya. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Nya. I have told you never to touch my desk, haven't I, Nya? And what makes you think I have, Nya? This doesn't look good, Nya. Nya? Sumire, Nya. There you are, mon ami, Nya. Sumire can back me up on this, Nya. We were in the courtyard together until a few minutes ago, Nya. She said she was going to the restroom, so I should go ahead, Nya. I only just got here, Nya. In other words, Nya, I haven't had time to go rifling through your stuff, Doctor, Nya. Right? Mon ami, Nya? Just what is going on here, Nya? It sounds like the doctor suspects Yuya of having searched his desk while he was out, Nya. I came straight from the classroom to here, so Yuya is obviously lying, Nya. Nya. I was with Yuya, Nya. I don't quite know what's going on, but I don't like the look on the doctor's face, Nya. That is the right suspicions to have, Nya. Do not trust this bird, Nya. That's right, Nya. Yuya and I were having a sexy and luxurious sun bath in the courtyard up until a few minutes ago, Nya. Sexy and luxurious it was indeed, Nya. Well, Doctor, Nya? Very well, Nya. I shall have to wait for more solid evidence, Nya. Please, do be careful, Nya. Of course, Doctor, Nya. Yuya, what, Nya? That's my favorite kind of sun bath, Nya. Sexy and luxurious, Nya. Forgive me, mon ami, Nya. The deep Nya is something. Nya. Forgive me, mon ami, Nya. I can't explain right now, Nya. Sorry, I'm stumbling over some windows here so I can continue to see the timer, Nya. There we go. But one day, Nya. And he's gone, Nya. What was that supposed to mean, Nya? Also, hi, Lobo! Nya? Is something really happening in this infirmary, Nya? Yes, Nya. There's so much happening in this infirmary, Nya. Murder, Nya. And trees, Nya. Trees with birds in them, Nya. We get our finals back today, Nya. I'm not sure I did too well, Nya. Speed! Hello, Lobo, Nya! Last day of the semester already, Nya. Think we're going to the infirmary, Nya? Yes, we're going to the infirmary, Nya. More shoe, Nya! And move this over here, Nya. Will that do me better? Yes, Nya. And then you over here, Nya. One day I will figure out a good configuration of my desktop, Nya. And then I clicked the wrong thing, Nya. There we go. Cleaning, Nya. Well, I will be here just about every day the building is open, Nya. But there isn't any real need for you to come too, Nya. There's nothing I could do to help, Nya? No, Nya. Was there anything else, Nya? Nya. We say? That's all, Nya. No, that's all, Nya. Not a big deal, lots of trees have birds in them, Nya. That's true, but this tree had a bird face in it, Nya. I will ask you to leave then, Nya. You aren't an unpleasant companion, but I have many experiments to conduct, Nya. I got kicked out again. Oh, I'm free! What did he mean by experiments, anyway? Like a chemist does? Yeah, that's exactly what was happening there. Yep, he's just a very devoted chemist. Tell yourself that. Let's see. Neom. Hello, Azami. Goodbye, Azami. Let's see. Do 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 do. Let's go. We are going to not get a job. We've already gone through all of that. I do love that cafe subplot though. It's so cute. I love little cute short plots like that. Okay. So we are going to invite Yuya to the summer thing. Salutations, Sumire. I'm honored to act as your escort tonight, mon ami. My love. Oh, Yuya, sorry. Did I keep you waiting? Oh, don't worry about it. A gentleman never keeps a lady waiting, so I always show up half an hour early. That's pretty early. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been that early to something ever. Shall we go, mon ami? A successful festival indeed. Take my hand. You don't have a hand. Take my hand, Sumire, lest the crowd separate us. Huh? Don't tell me you're a hand-holding virgin. Better late than never. You were the one who invited me, okay? Okay? His feathers are soft. He doesn't have a hand. We're just like loosely holding his wing. This was fun, Sumire. Where do you live? I'll walk you home. Yuya. Oh, what is it? Do you want to play some more? The night is yet young, and if dangerous games are your desire, I will accompany you. That's not what I meant. I wanted to ask you something. Oh, of course. Just, my height and weight are classified information, so I can't tell you those. Why did you lie to Dr. Iwamine? I used to try to be ready for early for dates, but it didn't matter because my boyfriend was always late. Lame! I'm sorry, Pawn. She said she was going to the restroom, so I should go on ahead. I only just got here. And yeah, because that's what was happening in that scene. In other words, I haven't had time to go rifling through your stuff, Doctor. Right, Sumire? Like we've forgotten that scene, the scene that happened a couple minutes ago. I came straight from cleaning my classroom. I hadn't seen you before I went to the infirmary, but you told the doctor we'd been together. Why? That was a month ago now. I was hoping my obligation to explain had lapsed. You knew I was lying then. This sounds like the Traverse Town battle music from the first Kingdom Hearts game? A little bit. So why did you play alone? Because the doctor looked mad? I felt like if I didn't help you, he was going to do something to you. Oh, hey, I'm asking the questions here. Sorry, mon ami, your hunter-gatherer instincts are too much for me. But yes, if you hadn't helped me back then, I'd probably be in little plastic bags in the freezer by now. Or being served to somebody as a Christmas dinner. That's not funny. Indeed, it isn't funny at all. And it's not a joke. Please give me a straight answer, Yuya. That was a straight answer. I'm always straight in love. Almost always. Yuya confirmed bisexual. No, I meant... Huh? Sumire, could you do me a favor? What now? You're just trying to avoid the question again. Shh, listen. I'll only say this once. Huh? What's going on? His usual detached air is gone, and he's looking around, almost nervously. I'm sorry, mon ami. It looks like we had better split up. Can you get home all right by yourself? Of course, Good girl. We'll part ways as soon as we reach that intersection. I'll head into the alleyway, so go straight home. Don't look back. The night roads are laden with traps. Be careful. Adieu, mon ami. He turns briskly and disappears into a narrow alley. What on earth is going on? He told me not to look back, but... Huh? A gunshot? Later that night, he sent me an email. Did you make it home in one piece? I'll be visiting you in your dreams, mon ami, so sleep well. The message bears no trace of the tension I felt in him earlier. Are you alright, Yuya? He really is a mysterious bird. I think I'll assume that his existence is one of the 7 mysteries of St. Pigianations. What? Yeah, Pawn! Guns! Gunshots! The late sunset in summer makes it easy to stay out late. I feel like my internal calendar is off already. I think I'll get some udon and go home before I get life counseled. Oh, okay, yes, so this is the scene that I skipped over. Wait, isn't that... Yuya? He's rummaging around a garbage can. Yuya, what are you doing? Have you fallen so far, mongrel? Oh, good evening, mon ami. You sound rather like a certain someone. I can't believe you need to fish around in trash cans for food, Yuya. Please don't understand, mon ami. Don't misunderstand, mon ami. I was looking for something. Sadly, no clues to be found in this barrel. Clues? What is he talking about? Let's keep this a secret from Sakuya, shall we? I would hate for him to have new names for me when school starts up again. Mr. Garbage Disposal. Something like that. I would like to escort you home, mon ami, but unfortunately I am somewhat busy at the moment. Will you be alright on your own? A hunter-gatherer can always find her way home. Indeed. Adieu, mon ami. The smell of garbage surrounding him fades as he strides off into the night, but the mysteries don't. What was he looking for? You know, stuff. Things. Don't worry about it. Okay. Nyum! Okay, so we are going to return to my glorious abode and lay the sword Macedonia. Yay! Okay, we should get a new scene here in a second. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of click through here because I think a new scene is gonna happen here in a minute. So we're giving Angel's ID card. We did that. Okay, and we're doing math still. Meow. Okay. Okay, the feathers thing again. Yeah, this is why I was like, whoa, we haven't done the feather scene yet because it's like so common in most of the routes. But for some reason it's only on the routes that we're doing today. Oh hey, we get to go do the school festival with you. Yeah, that'll be fun. Today's a school festival. Our class decided to do a maid cafe, and I'm not scheduled to work until tomorrow, so I have today off. I don't have anything to do, so I guess I'll go look around. Didn't Yuya say his class was doing a butler cafe in the... Butler birds. Butler birds! As a member of the maid team, I can't ignore this threat. I should... go spy on them. Oh, this is cute! No fair. They have all this and we're stuck in a classroom? I think we've already lost in terms of location. Butler birds! Oh my god. Mon ami? Oh, Yuya! How kind of you to come see- Oh, wait, no. Welcome back, my lady. Derashai Ojo-sama. Please come this way. Oh, he does look good. I think I'm blushing. You're not fooling anyone, Yuya. You say that to every birdie, right? It is my duty for today. Please forgive me, my lady. Jeez. What's your class doing, mon ami? Maid cafe? Oh, well. I suppose that makes us rivals. You've certainly done a good job infiltrating our base, I must say. Maids versus butlers, battle of the school ground. I think that's a bit much. You're not on duty today? Or are you taking a break? I'm on duty tomorrow. I see. In that case, I shall come witness your maidery. I will, of course, ask for you. I await your return, master? Huh? Butler birds. We're getting brand new cleaning supplies for the infirmary today. It doesn't seem like a particularly dirty room, but for some reason they always run out really quickly. I wonder why. I wonder why they need to clean that room up a lot. Yuya went ahead and I can't keep him waiting. Blast off at the speed of light to the maintenance office and beyond. Sometimes I wonder if our character's okay. Huh. Oh, gosh, we have not... Oh my god, we haven't met one yet at all. I don't know if his name is supposed to be said one or One. Let me look really quickly. Janitor. Hatoful. Let me... How do I say your name? Please give me the katakana. Wow, his name is in kanji. Cerise is gonna be mad he missed it. That's true! 1 second, I'm gonna pop this in Google Translate and see how you say this. It might be One. Japanese.
One-san.
One-san. Okay, it is One. Alright. Yuya's talking with the janitor, Mr. One. I hadn't expected Mr. One, the quiet, foppish bird with a cult following, to get along with the infamous stud muffin Sakazaki Yuya. But I don't think we'll find any evidence. Right, let's check the others. I'm gonna need to come up with a voice for One. Oh no. Yuya! Oh, salutations, mon ami. I was waiting for you. Here, I'll take the heavy stuff, you take the broom. That is that then. I'll figure out a voice for him later. Mr. One retreats into his lair with an unsociable expression. Mr. One seems like kind of a loner. I wonder if it's part of the job description. He's a nice fellow once you get to know him. I think his taciturn nature does him great injustice personally. Oh, you're friends with him? I do have a lot of opportunities to talk to him, yes. It was only to be expected. He starts carrying the supplies down the hall, ending the conversation. What does that mean? somehow I feels like he does. Somehow I feel like he doesn't want to talk about it. Let's go. Okay. Oh, this is a different... Okay. We're going to be deciding our majors soon. I haven't thought about it at all. I'll need to have my career all worked out by this time next year, won't I? Oof. I know that feeling. Okay. I wonder if Yuya's already decided on his. Maybe I'll go ask him for advice? Sakazaki! Hey Sakazaki! Did Sakazaki come in this morning? Yeah, he was here in the morning. Don't know where he went. Doesn't he attend class? He's never been particularly serious, no. He isn't even here half the time. I don't think he's planning on going to university, is he? I never realized. If he's still here, he's probably at the infirmary or the shop. I'll go to the shop first. We didn't have any infirmary duty today, and my hunter-gatherer instincts are telling me he's there. Yuya! Hello, mon ami. You startled me. Excuse me. It was easier than I expected. He's acting kind of weird, though. He isn't shoplifting, is he? Are you busy right now? I wanted to talk to you. Sure. Here. What? He takes my hand and, runs from the store. What? What? What are you doing? Why did you drag me into this empty hallway? Are you excited? No. Well... Why'd you come and talk to me, mon ami? Were you drawn to my sexy aura? No, I just wanted to talk to you about, like, career plans and stuff. You've always been a diligent girl, Sumire. You know, hanging around me is dangerous, though. You won't get off with just a scratch. What do you mean? Well, you might get shot, knifed, dismembered, drowned, buried alive, that sort of thing. I don't know what you're talking about, Yuya. Oh, don't think too hard. I meant exactly what I said. I'm going to disappear from this school soon, mon ami. I know it isn't easy, but you should just forget about me. That'll be for the best. His tone of voice is as carefree as ever, but his eyes are dead serious. I don't think he's joking. He is not. Kind of hard to swallow, isn't it? How about this? I'll tell you something neat as a parting gift. You know the rumors that the missing students end up as meat in the cafeteria and quill pens in the shop? Yeah, well... Why do you think I'm so forward, mon ami? And why do you think I work in the infirmary? Live an honest, happy life. Adieu. Yuya, wait! So yes, that whole thing about the quills, yeah, that's true. So, neat. Alright. We're almost done with Yuya, though. That'll be good. And then... Nageki. New Year's, yay! Woohoo! Okay, we want, surprisingly, fulfillment and conquest. Ooh, chicken of ill omen. Oh, ah! Hi, Yuya. Did you come alone? Not exactly, no. I was looking for someone, but I seem to have lost sight of them. You're just as suspicious as always, Yuya. But I found you instead, so I can't say this was a wild goose chase, mon ami. I shall go thank the gods of this shrine for this fated encounter. Adieu. Oh, Calypso Corvidae, thank you so much for the raid! Hello, hello! Hi everybody, welcome to Hatoful Boyfriend. We're finishing up the last few routes, and if you've never seen me before, I forgot to do this the last raid. If you've never seen me before, my name is Sumire Hanaki. I am a variety streamer, and former princess, current fat cat owner. Where is my fat cat, actually? He's sleeping, he's fine. Hello everybody, yes, welcome, welcome, everybody say hi. And so he sauntered off with a dashing wave. I guess he was in a hurry. How was your stream, Calypso? Ooh, Happy New Year, everyone. I hibernated. Okay, Legumintines. Do beans. What beans do you like? Bitter black beans. Okay. Yay, beans. Okay, stop. Edison, I just looked and you were asleep. He just headbutted the back of my leg and it scared me. If you do this while I play horror games in the middle of October, then there's gonna be problems, buddy. I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow as well. I want to go give Yuya beans, but I don't even know if he's at school today. He just wants attention. He's hungry. Guess I'll have to call him. We apparently exchanged phone numbers at one point. Oh, salutations, mon ami. He answered. Hello, how are you, Yuya? Where are you right now? I'm fine, but alas, I cannot say where I am. The best men always have a mystery or 2,000, after all. Do you need me for something? Could we meet up for a bit, please? I'll only ask this once. A once-in-a-lifetime request, in other words. Stream was good, just had a little chat. Oh, that's always nice. I need to do more, like, just chatting streams. Red Rabbit, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Everybody say hello. A once-in-a-lifetime plus plenty more times in the same lifetime request. That's a good line. I like that. Well, that sounds important. I can't exactly say no now, can I? Shall we meet at the usual place in the park tonight? Say at 8? Okay. Yuya, I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Time spent waiting for a lady is magical, irreplaceable time. Pay it no mind, mon ami. Unfortunately, I do not have much time left today. Forgive my lack of romance, but may I ask what you wanted to meet me for? Oh, yes. It's Legumintines, so I wanted to give you these. You wanted to give me beans, mon ami? Yes. Oh, how wonderful. I'm glad I risked my life to come here. I thought maybe your mature, manly spirit would like these? Oh, bitter black beans. Thank you, mon ami. I have loved these since I was but a child. Have I told you that? Oh, no, but my hunter-gatherer instincts never fail. I see. I wonder if we are truly bound together by fate. How romantic. This gives me hope and caffeine to carry me through these darkest of nights. Adieu, mon ami. And so he disappeared into the night. I can't say I have any more of an idea of what he's up to than I ever do, but I'm glad he liked the beans. I mean, hey, that worked out. Okay, the semester's almost over. In a few short weeks, I will no longer be a sophomore. I haven't seen Yuya since New Year's. Apparently, he hasn't come to school all semester. There are rumors that he dropped out, but could that really be true? I feel like a hole has opened up in my heart. I think I'll go drown my sorrows in arcade games mood. Beans, the most... It's Legumintines! Oh, and do you prefer being called Calypso, Corvidae? Whichever is fine. Wait, isn't that... Yeah, dudes love beans. It's like that, that comic online that's the bird in the vat of breadcrumbs that says motherfucking breadcrumbs, except it's beans. Yuya! Mon ami. You look like you're doing pretty well. I, have some stuff to do. Adieu. Hey, wait! Sumire, could you not grab me so tightly? Yuya, is your wing broke? Oh, look out! A gunshot? Most people call me Corvid. Okay, cool. I can do that. Opening fire on a lady? Such insufferable cads they are. This way, mon ami. Run. Yuya, what's going on? Please explain yourself. What are you? Why are people trying to kill you? Are you a wanted man? I suppose I can't really say you're not involved anymore, can I? It's time I explained. Do you... Hey, remember the Hawk Party that snapped our necks in the bad end? Do you know of the Hawk Party and the Dove Party, mon ami? The political factions? Right. They were names used in human politics, but now they carry a different meaning. The Dove Party believes we should live peacefully with the remaining humans, while the Hawk Party believes we should exterminate them to make room for birds. St. Pigeon Nations is actually a secret experimental institute created by the Hawks. This is like the most important exposition we've ever gotten. What? Of course, it's not like the entire faculty is working for them. There's only one Hawk agent working at the school. Mad because it's kind of sexy. By contrast, I was dispatched by the Doves to infiltrate the school and investigate the experiments. As you said, I am a wanted man. I am proud to live up to that title. I am an expert at clandestine information retrieval, and information is valuable. Yeah, this... Oh man, Corvid. This game gets deep. We're about to do a very sad route after this one, too. It'll be fun. I've already played this game, but I'm playing it all the way through because I think it's a fantastic game and nobody believes me, so I'm just playing it to get more people to like this game. I imagine you've already realized why I was acting as a helper in the infirmary. Because the Hawk agent is... Hanaki? I'm a bird VTuber, do I need to play this? Honestly, I recommend everybody play Hatoful Boyfriend. It is very, very good, and it's very funny, but it's also very well written. The translation is also very good as well. So sometimes it has a couple of blips, but the translation is very good, which sometimes does not happen. Correct. Iwamine is no doubt an assumed name. He's a researcher for the Hawk Party and has been developing anti-human biological weapons using data collected during physical examinations. Since you're a bird now, I mean, Exceed isn't wrong. Remember when we bumped into each other at the school shop? Yeah, I think I was investigating where the products sold there come from. I found that DNA samplings from the pens were matched to samples taken from missing students. Same goes for much of the poultry in the cafeteria. See, it was true. It was true. I'll add it to my list. Yeah, Corvid, the thing with this is like, oh, it starts off as like, oh, ha ha ha, funny bird dating game. But then you get like, oh yeah, there's like secret military factions and one of the teachers is murdering students and there's an ending where your head ends up in a jar. Like, it gets crazy. That's horrible. But if the doctor was out to exterminate humans, why did he never do anything to me? This is just my interpretation, but I don't think he holds any political ideals. I think he trusts only in his own knowledge and his own power to expand that knowledge. Something like a mad scientist, maybe? Yes, exactly. I love it so. It's so good. Nobody believes me. Nobody believes me when I'm like, oh yeah, Hatoful Boyfriend is one of my favorite visual novels. I suppose it never occurred to him to target you since you were working for him. I think he was more interested in observing your interactions with the other students. I wanted to reveal the Hawk's involvement in the school, but in the end it proved too much for me alone. And now, well, I can no longer live in the open. I plan to leave this city tonight. But I can't leave just yet. I don't know if I can just leave you here, Sumire. Oh, Yuya. You may already have been marked as one of my associates, and if that's the case, then leaving you alone will be dangerous. I'm sorry I got you involved in all of this, mon ami. Hardly. I was the one who approached you. You don't need to apologize. You're such a nice girl. Thank you. I'll let you decide. Do you want to come with me into the world of darkness, or would you rather live a normal life? Of course, if you want to stay, I'll assign agents to protect you. I want to. Obviously we're going with Yuya. I think if we don't go with him, that bad ends us. I want to go with you. Are you sure? You may be putting your life at risk. Don't make me say it twice. Somehow I was hoping you'd say that. I haven't been this happy in a long time. There's nothing more keeping us here then. Let's go, mon ami. And so I followed Yuya into the world of darkness. Sometime in the future, a pair of spies and their endless battle for justice behind the frail curtain of society will pass into legend. But that's another story. Okay, the thing that I saw that no, the thing that I saw that I thought was a shitpost I think comes out in the true ending. But there we go. That's Yuya. He is a spy. Which I didn't guess when I first played this. I was like, oh, he's just like, you know, the cool one. Ending 5. Yuya only live twice. Good. James Bond. Yes, let's do it. Okay, so we do just have one more route to do. My sweet baby boy, Nageki. So I am gonna do just one last quick break, and then we'll finish up the normal routes to hopefully do the true ending in a couple of days. But I will be back in just a few minutes. Hello! Stop the Spotify. There we go. All right. Oh, did I spill my water? Okay, good. Here we go, everybody. It is time for my favorite boy, little baby Nageki. If I get through this without crying, it's going to be a miracle. Thank you for the sticker, Pon. I think I might be able to get through and not cry. Just because I really don't like crying in front of people. So that might, keep me in check for a minute. But we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, like, not cry at the true ending. But maybe I can get through Nageki, okay? Alright. Let's go, let's go. Alright, and then got my guide. Yes. Oh, Nageki's right here at the top. Wonderful. Ba-da-do-do, do. That might this might be the last time we hear that little transition song, because I don't know if it's in the true ending. And we go. Hi, we'll be back for you in just a minute, bud. Oh, this will be nice too, because Nageki's voice is very soft on my throat. Hi, Shu. Bye, Shu. Hi, San. I miss you, buddy. It's been so long since we did that Okasan route. Hi. Miss you, bud. Miss when this was all lighthearted. Okay, here we go. For the first time ever, we are now joining the library staff. That's everyone, isn't it? Have fun. Okay, oh, what do I study for him? Math. Everybody likes that math. Okay. I'm on receptionist duty today. Better hurry. Boring as usual. The library here doesn't seem very popular. Not enough books. It's on the 5th floor, though, so at least the view is nice. Sitting here twiddling my thumbs is bad for me. I wish someone would come ask me something. There's nobody here. I wonder if it would be okay to close early. I wish I could just spread my wings and fly away. Planning on jumping off the building? Oh, no, I think this is Shu? I'm just gonna say it normally. Planning to jump off the building? The window there is rather good for that, Miss Receptionist. Oh! No, Nageki did say that. Nageki, when did you... I've been here all along. I never noticed. He's almost as bad as the doctor. You're thinking I have no presence, right? It's okay. I already know that. You certainly seem to like this place. Yeah? Is that a problem? No, books are nice. They are. Why don't you join the library staff, Nageki? You could read whatever you want. I already read whatever I want. Touché. You shouldn't slack off, Miss Receptionist. And with that, he takes a book and is gone between the stacks. What a strange bird. After Doki Doki, I really don't trust how he said that. It isn't that. I will tell you, it's not like Moida or anything like that. I'm trying to think. I'm not gonna say anything else. Kazuaki again. We just keep talking to this gentleman. Okay. Math. We've seen every other scene though, so we can like blaze through this, which is nice. Sports festival. Yup. And we are going to immediately just leave the whole thing and go to the library. Goodbye, everyone. Have fun running. I will not be doing that. May is practically summer already. It's too hot. I think I'll rest in the library. Much better. It's nice that the AC is on, but do we really need it? Nobody's in here today. It's not on. Oh, it's you, Nageki. It's you, Miss Hanaki. Whoa, he called me by my name! They don't turn on the air conditioning until June. It just feels cold compared to outside. Oh, is that it? It would be a little strange to start spending money to cool a barely used library in May. Anyway, aren't you going to participate in the festival, Nageki? Aren't you? I don't like it outside. So I stay in here. That's all. I see. Why are you sitting next to me? Do you mind? Not really. Listen, our class president got duped into being a cheerleader and, Sorry. No, keep going. So I spent the day telling him about the festival and whatnot while he read. I don't know how much he was listening to me, but he didn't seem to mind, I think. I love this boy. I love this boy. I'm having, like, memories come back to me. I love this boy. Nyom. Okay, we are going to the infirmary, okay? And then we just tell him we came here to skip class. Goodbye. Bye, Shu. I hate you. Have a good rest of your day. More math, baby. Okay, there we go. Wonder. Oh, so we just got Nanakis. Yeah. Yeah, Nageki doesn't have one. Let's see. Rule the world from the shadows, also, for Nageki. Okay. Yep, and we do not go home with him. Bye-bye. Boo. Oh. Math. Integral calculus. Finals. Okay. Today's the last day. It's been a semester already. Sometimes it seemed long and sometimes it seemed short, but either way, it's summer now. I need to check all the assigned books before I go home. There'll be a lot of students coming in to borrow their summer reading pretty soon. Today is the closing ceremony, so there are even fewer birds in here than usual. Oh, am I the only one? Well, that just makes my job easier. But I'm probably not alone. I've seen this situation before. Nageki? No reply. Maybe he's not here. Are you here, Nageki? Please be quiet in the library. Oh, hello! You're rather noisy today. Did you want something? Nope, I was just wondering if you were here. Of course, I'm always here. He replies from his corner in a somewhat annoyed tone of voice. Oh, the book he's holding. That's assigned reading for this semester. Is it any good? Not really. I'm almost done with it. It forces its safe, ethical viewpoint on the reader, like all assigned reading. The whole concept is inane. Why force everyone to read the same books? It's pretty boring most of the time. What do you like to read? Huh? You volunteered to work here, so you must like books. I was wondering what to read next. You want me to recommend something? He nods. What about? Okay, what are our options? Night on the Oh, no. Sorry, Night on the Galactic Railroad, that comes back in Holiday Star. So my heart just, like, dropped into my stomach for a second. Orehato. My heart. Oh. But obviously, we're gonna do Galactic Railroad. Oof, 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 oof. Okay. It isn't sad yet, but I'm saddened by it. What about Night on the Galactic Railroad? I liked it. Too stereotypical. Oh, sorry, you've already read it, I imagine. Yeah. Though, I liked it too. And so I spent the afternoon working in the library, occasionally exchanging a word with Nageki. Time flows slowly by. This sort of thing is nice too. I love the Nageki scene so much. Just very, very good stuff. Hello! Bye, Zami, I love you. Okay, so we're gonna go... We are not going to get a job. No more job. Okay, local summer festival. Invite. Obviously, we invite Nageki. I'll invite Nageki. He needs to get out more. But I don't know his address or phone number. I'd go look in the library if the school weren't already closed. Now that I think about it, I only know him as the depressed freshman who's always in the library. I'd like to learn more about him, though he'd probably never tell me anything if I asked. Going out is too much trouble. I think I'll have some udon and go to bed. So we just do not go. We just do not do the festival thing because we do have no contact information. That's funny. Today is my day as receptionist. There's nobody here, as usual. Maybe I should work on the newspaper? Nageki! Yeah? Do you have a minute? Oh, what is it? I want to write a book review. I'm working on the library newspaper and there's a corner open, so I thought, can't you write one yourself? I'm always writing them. We never get submissions, so the book reviews are just turning into our personal soapbox. Perhaps it would be better to remove them from the paper. My thoughts exactly. I'd like to see how you'd write one, though. It doesn't have to be very long, either. I'll write one later. Leave the paper here. Oh, yay, thank you! I think that's everything for the September issue. Wee. And we go to school. And again, for the first time, we go to the library. It's so funny how you can have, like, negative interaction with Nageki through the whole thing. Library should be open now. I think I'll go study. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I've prepared enough for my tests. I'd like to go study if that's alright. Of course, work hard, okay? There are already a number of students working in the library. Looks like mostly third years? They've probably all decided on their colleges and careers already. Will I be that frantic this time next year, I wonder? Nageki is here too, leaning against a bookshelf in a far corner. Oh, Nageki! Miss Hanaki, did you need something? Why are you over here? There's still plenty of seats open. You should sit down. I don't mind standing. You look like you mind. You don't like being near other birds? Is that it? He nods. They'll just ignore me anyway, whether or not I go near. Nageki, are you being... bullied? He falls silent. If there's something wrong, I'd like to help. We're getting close to the end of this, I'm afraid. Hope everybody had fun over the summer. I hibernated. Oh! Okay, this is just Angel's ID. More math, more math, math, math. Oh, school festival, yay! Besides Sumire Cafe, I'm not scheduled to work until tomorrow, so I have today off. I don't have anything to do, so I guess I'll go look around. I wonder if Nageki's in the library today. Probably. I'll go buy something and hang out with him. Yep, the door's open. Nageki? Close it, please. Oh, I knew you'd be here. The door. It's loud outside. Oh, sorry. You're staying in here even today? It's almost like this is where you live. Is there something wrong with that? Of course not. You're like a friendly ghost or something. It's reassuring to know that you're here. Anyway, I brought you something. You're planning to stay here all day, right? What? Cookies? Yep, the birdwatching club was selling bird-shaped cookies. Aren't they cute? Have some. Thanks. Hearing him thank me makes me very happy, even if it was in a whisper. He even looks a little happier than usual. There's a lot of other stuff too. The third years are doing a play. One class put together a god-tier haunted house. I was thinking of looking around a little more. Nageki, want to come with me? No. Oh, no. He looks angry. No, thank you. Go ahead, if you want. Well, Alright, sorry, I didn't mean to drag you out, to try to drag you out of here. I think he might actually live in here. Now that I think about it, I've never seen him anywhere else. Maybe he comes straight here as soon as he gets to school? Midterms are right around the corner. I got too excited for the festival and didn't study at all. Except I've done math. Okay. I'll have to study at... Huh? Where's my history textbook? It's not on my desk. Oh, I was reading it in the library during lunch, so maybe it's still there. I'll go look. Oh, sir! Welcome back, Hanaki. Where are you going? I think I left something in the library. Do you know if the door is still open? Um, somebody brought the key to the staff room a few minutes ago, so I think it's locked now. Oh, I'll go there first then. Thank you, sir. I was sitting over there. Oh, here it is. Yay. Oh, somebody's written on the page I left open. The Congress dances, but does not progress. Well, that's funny, but I don't write on people's books. Don't leave books lying around with their pages to the four winds. Nageki? What? Why are you so surprised? I hadn't thought you'd still be here. Why not? The door was locked? Oh, don't tell me they locked you in. We've been locked in a place. Oh, that would be terrible. It was. I hadn't realized. Well, if it was an accident, then it's all right, maybe. Geez, you're supposed to make sure there's nobody left inside before you lock the door. Anyway, I need to lock the door again. I should. Uh-oh. Where did my guide go? Oh no, I need it. I need it. I will not mess up this time with my boy. I should go home with Nageki. Well, that was obvious. Okay. Hey, Nageki, let's go home together. No, thank you. He didn't even pause to think about it. Where do you live? I'll walk you. I'm fine, really. Don't worry about me. You always get mad when I suggest you go outside. Don't. If I could, I... What? Don't worry about it. I'll lock the door, so just leave the key there. He's already reading again. I think I'm annoying him? My grades aren't looking very good. I need to work harder to recover before finals. Lots of original scenes here. I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm slowly preparing myself for the pain, but it's fine. Eeh. And so I sat studying in the library, while one by one the other students filed out to go home. When I look up, I'm alone. He's a vampire IDK. We are very close to the end, so you shall get an answer very soon, Senti. Or not. My, how unusual. I think this is the first time you sat down next to me, Nageki. Does he even go here? I want to talk to you. Wow, you're nothing but surprises today. I'll leave you alone if you're busy. Oh no, talk away. I was shocked when you first came and talked to me, Miss Hanaki. You're the only one who didn't ignore me. But no one but you has ever talked to me. That's why this is the only place for me. That's terrible. Nageki, that's awful. Which class are you in? I'll talk to your teacher. I'm not done talking yet. Oh, I'm sorry, go on. You think I'm being bullied, right? I thought that too. You're not? I don't think so, no? Being bullied might be better than this. Better than this? Then what is he... I'm not sure yet, though. When you talk to me, I remember things, sometimes, but it's still not enough. I don't understand. What do you mean? Miss Hanaki, I think I'm... Hanaki, you're here late. Oh, sir! The school's already starting to close for the night. It's good to study, but working too hard on your own for too long can backfire on you. Lock the door and head home soon, okay? On my own? Sir, what are you talking about? I'm not... Huh? Nageki's gone. Oh, he was just here a moment ago. Where did he go? Did he leap out the window and go home ninja style? He just ran away. He did not want to deal... he did not want to be in that situation. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. We are very close to the end. We're very close to the end. Hey, it's New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. Senti might be putting the things together. People might be putting stuff together. Oh, closing time already. I don't really have any reason to be here again until the semester starts up. No, it's snowing. It was clear when I left. Crossing the wilderness to get to my house in a blizzard? Oh, I'd be risking my life. You're still here? Nageki! A book under his arm, same as always. I do wonder about last time, but if he wants to talk, then he'll talk to me. For now, I won't bring it up. I was about to go home, but... Snow? Guess I'll have to wait until it stops. He makes a noise of agreement and sits down next to me with his book. He's been a little distant lately, but maybe he's warming up to me in his own way. What are you reading? Dickens. A Christmas Carol. Oh, it's Christmas Eve today, isn't it? Please keep quiet in the library. Sorry. I completely forgot. I guess this makes it a white Christmas? More like a whiteout Christmas if you ask me. Looks like you're almost finished. Yeah, I just got to the part where Tiny Tim dies and Scrooge sees his own grave. That sounds like a depressing story. Do we not know Christmas Carol? Does she not know Christmas Carol? You haven't read it? Even though you work here? I'm Buddhist, so Christmas stuff has never really been... Tim is a boy born weak who dies young. The protagonist, Scrooge, sees that will happen and tries to prevent it. Time travel? Oh, I thought it was a classic, but it sounds kind of science fiction-y. I can see that. It's not really the focus of the book, though. I'd like to see the future. It would be nice being able to avoid getting into trouble. I wouldn't like it. No? The future is what it is. It is what it is, and that's all there is to it. And so we enjoyed the present point in time in which we flowed. This is a nice way to spend Christmas, I think. Merry Christmas. Merry Crisis. Merry Christmas. Okay. Alright. New Year's. Hello again. Let's see. We want fulfillment in school. Okay. I'm a little bit afraid. Don't toss another thing at me. Oh, nope, we're done. Okay, scene's over. Pon might be connecting some dots. Happy New Year, everyone. I hibernated. Boo, 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 boo. Beans time. It's time for beans. And country millet for the boy. We're almost at the end. I don't know if I'm ready. Okay. Oh, stop. Okay. Intensifies, yep. Almost empty as always. And unsurprisingly, the heating doesn't work well here, so the winter cold will stick around well through February. The pervading chill has earned the library the dubious honor of being one of the school's least popular places in winter. A few students are huddled around the heater, so Nageki should be... Oh, there you are, Nageki! Sitting in a frigid corner, far from the meager effects of the heater, as expected. Please be quiet in the library? Oh, can you somehow forgive my dreadful sin? It's cold in here. Are you okay, Nageki? I'm fine. Don't mind me, Miss Hanaki. Feel free to go sit by the heater if you're cold. Nope, I'm fine. My house doesn't have a heater at all. Anyway, I have something to give you. It's Legumentine's, you know? Here, foxtail millet. For me? Yep, you're supposed to give beans to the most important bird in your life today. Do you want them? Yes. Thank you. He looks happier than usual. Or is it just my imagination? I often ate these when I was younger. This brings back memories. 1 second, I need to look at something real quick. I'm not going to say what I'm looking at, but I'm just checking. Okay, yep. Alright. I will talk about it when we finish the game. Thank you, Miss Hanaki. You're welcome, Nageki. Lots of requested books are going to come in today. I'll have to work through lunch. Sorting all these takes forever. I think I'll just have the encyclopedias to do before I'm done. Huh? There's a note on the help desk counter. Miss Hanaki, be here after all the other students have left. Fujishiro Nageki. It reads like a challenge to a samurai duel. How fitting. I think this is the first time he's approached me. I wonder what it's all about. Okay, here we go. Nageki, are you here? Nageki? Over here. Nageki? Hello, Miss Hanaki. You startled me. How long have you been standing there? From the very beginning. So, what did you need? I want to talk with you, Miss Hanaki. Talk with me? Continue our conversation. We were talking about bullying, I think? Okay, I'm all ears, Nageki. I'm not sure where to start. I've noticed a lot since we last spoke together. Miss Hanaki. Let's go outside. What? But he hates going outside. Come on. He stands up and walks over to the door. I follow, agitated. You first. Okay? Why does he want to go out all of a sudden? I should be happy, but... Huh? What's wrong? You said you wanted to come out here? He stands in the doorway, pushing against open air. What are you doing? Mime? Watch. He walks back a little ways into the library and then runs forward, crashing into the air. Nageki, what? Thud. Huh? He bounces off the invisible wall and flies back into the library. That's too good to be a mime act. As I thought, I can't leave. What? I can't leave this room. I wake up in this library. After a while, I lose consciousness and wake up here again, and so it repeats. I said I'd come to understand the truth by talking to you, Miss Hanaki. You've probably noticed too why no one else talks to me. That's because they can't see you. I'm the only one who can see you? Probably. I forgot why I was here. How I came to be stuck to this place. I've been alone here for years with no one to talk to. For years? My sense of time has broken. I cannot feel or remember its passage. I've seen at least 5 school festivals go by. But then you came and talked to me. I had no partner but myself for so long, and suddenly you wouldn't leave me alone. As I talked to you, I finally remembered why I can't leave. I killed myself in this room, and so here I stay. My clock broke here, its hands turning meaninglessly, each day the same as the last. Alone, forever. Ugh. No one is bullying me or ignoring me. I'm not here to begin with. I have no regrets. It was my choice to end my life here after all, but I think I will miss you, Miss Hanaki. If I wasn't like this, I would have liked to talk to you more, for longer. Nageki? I wrap my arms around him. I can feel him, softly, but he's cold. At first, sitting here alone was painful, but I grew numb over time. I ceased to feel pain. That feeling that I thought I had lost came back because of you. I'll talk to you enough to make up for everyone else, Nageki. Maybe one day you'll be able to leave. No. Why not? As I talked to you, I changed. I didn't notice until just recently. When you told me about this school, I was probably trying to take back the time I was never able to spend here. I never asked you to, but you relentlessly told me everything that was going on here. I already feel like I've spent a full year at this school, and now it's over. Oof, okay, okay. I'm not gonna cry. Alright. I think the clock's hands are going to stop soon. Nageki? His head is right next to mine, but his voice sounds muffled and distant. When I look down, his feet are already disappearing. Nageki, wait! We've never talked like this before. I don't want this to be the last time. Don't cry, Miss Hanaki. I'm already long gone. There's no one here to mourn. But there's just one thing I need to tell you before I go. The thing that I noticed. The secret that stopped my clock. No, don't say it, Nageki. As I filled up, I grew closer to disappearing. You're the one who made me disappear, Miss Hanaki. I can't stop it now. But I still have so many things to tell you. You've already given me more than enough. I'm satisfied. The secret... Thank you. I love you. Ugh! I'm not gonna cry. This is not gonna happen. Whoo! Oh, my boy. I'm not gonna cry. I refuse. Oof. Ah. Dreams end. Oh, Pon, I saw the sound alert. I don't know if it played. 1 second, let me bring it. Oh, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. It just like gut punches you so hard at the end. It did play. Okay. Sorry, yeah, I didn't hear it. But, oh my god. Okay. Whew. My sweet boy. My sweet boy Nageki. Okay. Okay. So yes, we have now played all of the normal routes in Hatoful Boyfriend. Let me see if there's anything else I need to do so we can get the true ending. I don't think so. That should be it. Okay. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna see if it... So it should prompt me to do a thing here. Hopefully. Fingers crossed that this does it. Because we haven't missed anybody. I don't think we've missed anybody. Yep, that's okay. Yep, cool. Yep, portraits. Okay. Ask me the question. There we go, baby! Alright, we have unlocked the true ending, which we will not do today, but I can now reveal to you all is called Bad Boys Love. um, so the true name of the ending is Bad Boys Love, but it is also sometimes called Hurtful Boyfriend. So that kind of tells you right about what we are in for. It's not happy. None of it is. All of it hurts. I'm excited to get into it, but oh man, I'm just gonna I'm yeah, I'm gonna sob. But yeah, so that's Hatoful Boyfriend for the most part. But yeah, I'll leave you guys to think about what you can take this chance to fulfill a promise from long ago means. All right, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this. Uh, I kind of avoided crying a little bit. Kind of, I cried a little bit, but I kept myself from like really crying. I do not know if that will be a thing I can do for a hurtful boyfriend, but I will do my best. Thank you for. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm so happy to share this game with people. It means a lot to me. It's a great game. Um, it is wonderful storytelling. But we'll go ahead and let's see. Is there anybody we want to raid? All right. We'll go from the absolute sadness of Nageki, and I will throw you into Humble Hotel. He is streaming League. Loved what I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed it. Honestly, like that is all that I've really wanted out of this is to get more people to enjoy it. Hope to catch more streams in the future. Yeah, thank you so much, Corvid, for the raid. I appreciate it. Sorry, my mouth is not moving today for some reason. Um, but I think I'll play this on Sunday. I think. Um, Instead of doing Sea of Thieves, just because Hurtful Boyfriend is a little bit longer. And since I stream at 4 p.m. PST instead of 6 p.m. PST on Sundays, I think that extra time will be good. So,
Take care now. I love you.
I regret that sound so much, but thank you, Pun. Um, so yes, if you want to see the thrilling conclusion of Hatoful Boyfriend, if you want to see what Hurtful Boyfriend is, 4 p.m. PST on right here on this channel. All other things, I'll have my schedule up on my Twitter or in my Discord very soon. Um, there's gonna be a lot happening next week, but my brain is mushy and I can't remember it. So yes, keep an eye out on my socials. Thank you guys again so much for coming here with me as we get that raid ready. Edison, do you want to say goodbye? No, nope. He never does. All right. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you next time. Bye bye.